Hello everyone, my name is Pixelriffs. Welcome to your Thursday Minecraft live stream. How is everyone doing? Got popcorn? Paranor has popcorn for all the usual complaining over a new release. I see what you're doing there. Hello Fev, thank you for the 10 bits. I'm having a great day, thank you so much for asking. Thank you again for the bits. Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a great Thursday. Hope your week is proceeding well. 1.14 pre-1 came out the other day. We are probably only a couple of weeks away from the full release. Man, it's happening before my birthday. Best birthday present ever. Exciting times. New Minecraft update on the way. New stuff happening. Castle builds. It's all go. It's all go. Fantastic stuff. Vinos Troy was asking if villager trading is still worthwhile in 1.14. To answer that, I point you to the Twitter account of one Python GB, Hermitcraft server member and my good friend, who found out that his villager, who normally trades mending books for 10 emeralds, can now, with the right circumstances, with like hero of the village discount and a good reputation with the village, he can trade mending books for 1 emerald. And if you think that isn't broken as all heck, welcome to 1.14. So good. I'm very excited for 1.14. I think it's going to be an interesting time. What's up, people? So many people coming into the chat already. We've got a solid amount of viewers dropping in so far. For you guys who are joining us this early, a little update on the Twitch partnership situation. So I'm still an affiliate, as you may be able to tell. I'm not sure like if anything really changes for you guys when it comes to like watching a partner versus an affiliate. I guess the check mark would be a thing. I went to the area where you apply for Twitch partnership the other day just to see if anything had changed, and something had changed. The graphic said review complete. Check your email for the status of your partnership application, and you'll need to wait until this date if you need to reapply. But it said check your email, right? So I did. I don't have an email from Twitch. I have no idea where that email is supposed to be, but it is not in my inbox. So your move, Twitch. Let's play some Minecraft. Yeah, who knows? Who knows at this point? I have absolutely no idea. But we're here. We're playing some Minecraft. Let's get the stream off to a good start. So yeah, so no idea about Twitch partnership. I have no concept of whether or not it is happening, not happening, or what. I'm just biding my time and seeing what happens. So today we're going to be working a little bit more on the castle here at Founders Forge, which is a very exciting build. I'm really loving it so far. I've been doing a little bit of detail work on these towers, and that's going to be the subject of tomorrow's episode, is how to turn some of these like flat grey surfaces into something that looks a little bit more like a decorated castle tower. It's all going to be relatively basic. We're not going to go overboard on the detail. I want this to feel manageable as a project to the folks who've been tuning in for all of this castle building stuff, and I'm planning on just detailing a little bit more of it on the stream and then coming back and explaining to the folks at home what we have done. So to that end, we're probably going to have quite a chill, relaxed stream here, but we're going to start off by grabbing a little bit of XP to repair this elytra, probably making a few more fireworks and stuff as well. And yeah, thank you. I'm glad it's looking good to you so far. I really like how this is coming together. It's been great fun working on a project of this scale. Nothing like this has ever been built in my series before, so I'm still in new territory, but I'm feeling my way around it. And once again, I want to thank my good buddy F-Whip for some incredible tutorials. I only really followed the first couple, and after that point, I was like, I think I've got it from here. I think I know what I'm doing, but the foundation one and the one where he was building up the walls and roofs, really, really helpful stuff. So if you're not subscribed to him already, he's over on YouTube and Twitch. I think his Twitch is F-Whip TV. Something along those lines, but you can find him pretty easily. We've raided him a couple of times. Get that guy on your watch list. He is a fantastic builder. I might also mend my diamond shovel while I'm at it, because that's looking like it's in need of some repairs. So yeah, this is the continuation of Castle Week, or as we are now calling it, Fortress Fortnite, Fort Fortnite, because yeah, for those of you guys who aren't aware, the game Fortnite is actually a pun on the word fortnight, which means 2 weeks, and we're probably going to take more than a week to build this castle. So here we go. Did I get a castle name? Not yet. I have a few solid ideas for future castle names, but I'm probably going to take a poll I'm probably going to pick my 3 or 4 favorites. I can't remember how many options YouTube polls allow you to do, but at the end of Castle Week, when it's basically built and I need to, like, crown it and say, like, this is what it's going to be called now, I'm probably going to take a YouTube poll over the weekend and then announce the results the following week. So it's not going to be this weekend we'll do it, but like next Friday's video will probably have a poll in it, and we'll take a poll about what it should be called, and then I'll announce the winner on Monday. That kind of thing. You like Founders Fortress? I'm steering myself away, really, from anything that already has the words like Founders or Forge in it, and I know I gave those as examples, but I feel like, you know, calling it the Founders Fortress of Founders Forge, it just kind of, it's the same sound over and over again, so I wanted to go with something a little bit different. I liked Castle Brimstone. That was one of the ones I really did like. I came up with Castle Ironheart because a while ago, I think it was on the Division server, I was building this town that really never got anywhere, but it was all supposed to be like blaze powered, and instead of steampunk as a theme, it was going to be like blaze punk. And the guy who founded that town was supposed to have been called Ironheart, and he was kind of like the sort of medieval Tony Stark kind of character, and so I liked the idea of something being called Ironheart, so I wanted to go somewhere along those lines. But I'm going to grab some fireworks from the ender chest over here. And, yeah, make sure I've got those. And I needed a boat so that we could go to the Guardian farm, because I actually want to use the boat path for once. And putting my name in it is also a no-go as well. Like, just calling it Castle Pixel or Castle Rifts. I'm like, this is not the only castle I will build, and I kind of... I feel like it's too vain to just put my name on everything, you know? Like, this isn't called Pixel Town, you know? Why not Diamond Heart? I feel like Iron just sounds better. I don't know. And Gold Heart sounds too much like a continuation of, like, the Bond villain naming conventions. Castle Ironside, like it's the detective. Oh, and it looks like there are a few... Is that Nether wart? Yeah, it's Nether wart from where I took up all of the Nether wart farm that was there before. Right next to that portal. Pixel Castle and Pixel Town on Pixel World. I know, it starts to sound like an Eiffel 65 song at that point. I'm Pixel Dabba-dee Dabba-die. Castle Pig Iron. With the pigmen spawning from that portal constantly, it's not a bad suggestion. Gonna try and stay for an hour because you need some sleep. Well, if you need to get some sleep, then go ahead. The whole stream will be up on Pixel VODs later if you want to catch it after the fact. Come back! These darn boats and their collision. I wonder if that's getting fixed at all in 1.14. Probably not. We will see. Now you have to call it Castle Eiffel 65. You think now the horse despawn? No, no, no. Horses do not despawn as far as I'm aware. Being passive mobs that they are. Oh, I need to turn my... Oh, my particles are already on minimal. Good. That explains why I've not been seeing as many particles. But yeah, I need to... I need to mend this shovel. Nether horse is back at the castle now. It came back through to the other side. Has anyone actually tested the iron rates to see exactly how much slower it is on 1.14? I mean, it's a different farm, so it's always going to be a little bit different. The good news for iron farming is that the spawn chunks will render, or not render, will calculate like entity activity again. So it's actually possible to have an iron farm in the spawn chunks again, which it hasn't been for a while. Or I mean, it is, but it wasn't in the snapshots. The teacup was shining when I had the shovel in the hand. The space tea. Oh. It's got that glow. The space tea emotes popping up in the chat. You built the same villager breeder as Mumbo, and you're feeling Mumbo. The villagers don't want to breed. Are you building it in Java or in Bedrock? Because it won't work in Bedrock. Do you not need to do the item through portal thing with farms now? I mean, to chunk load them, you don't need to do that, technically speaking. You can force load chunks using a command if you want to, but yeah, I mean, there are different ways of doing everything. And yeah, I expect the pre-release is still pretty buggy. It's that time of development where they still need to like iron out some of the bugs and whatnot. But that's the whole reason there is a pre-release, rather than just releasing it as is. They're at least confident in the fact that it's going to be stable by the time they launch it in full, and they're just on the bug fixing phase now. It's quite exciting. It means most of it is, if not bug fixed, then at least kind of balanced. Waiting for the post-release. Always the post-release. My opinion on crawling. Yeah, people talk to me about player poses and stuff in one of the previous streams I did, and I had no idea what they were talking about, but then, yeah, I've kind of got the deal with crawling now. I do think it would be an interesting mechanic to add into the game. I have no idea how it would affect stuff like PvP, because I don't play PvP very much, but I do kind of wonder if it would have, like, a significant impact on other play styles for the game, and if, yeah, it kind of significantly changes the way people go caving, for example. All you need to do to escape from mobs is find a 1x1 hole to crawl into, and that's kind of it. You and the cave spiders. The only thing that can... I guess baby zombies as well could still follow you, so it's not complete safety, but it would be an interesting mechanic if they added it. And even if they don't, then we can crawl after a fashion anyway. It just looks real weird. So you can still, like, crawl down here. Like, if I knocked out this block, I'd still be able to get underneath the sea lantern, but I'm using a Elytra to do that. I think it's just a good thing that they've changed the animation, so if the player is occupying a certain space, it still puts you in, like, a swimming or gliding animation. And that makes a lot of sense. Crawling into a tiny cave full of baby zombies and cave spiders, not terrifying at all. Most PvP servers are still on 1.8 anyway. Yeah, but for the brave people who actually, like, wanted the new update. For the people who actually care about the future of the game and want it to improve. And considering that they plan on potentially, I mean, I say they plan on, like, it's not been confirmed or anything yet, but the overall suspicion in the community is that the next update is going to change up some of the stuff about combat and weaponry, hence them holding back on the smithing table and fletching table recipes until the next update. It seems possible that the next update may be one that rebalances PvP in a way that some players may find more acceptable. Hey, Zarond. Welcome along. Just saw the message on YouTube. Tuned in having sleepy eyes because you're already 12 hours up, had some exams at school. Well, if you need some sleep, feel free to check out of the stream anytime you like. But thank you for stopping in, Blackfeather. Good to see you. Can you craft all of the villager workstation things? Yeah, absolutely. Like, it would be silly if you couldn't craft them at this point. The whole idea behind those workstations is that it gives players more control over how villages work. Like, yes, the naturally spawned villagers have them in too, but that's not the only way to acquire them. 115 is rumored to overhaul caves and combat. Well, the caves thing hasn't necessarily been corroborated by anything Mojang have said in the changelogs or whatever, has it? Because I think a lot of people wanted a cave update for the last update. Zarond with a 15! Thank you so much for the 15 months. It has been a while. It has indeed. But yeah, like, I can see that there is room for a cave update in future, and a lot of people are asking for it. Doesn't mean it's happening. Yeah, we don't know when 1.14 is releasing yet, but I would presume now that we're in pre-releases for 1.14, it should be in the next, like, month. That's as much as I can expect, and I'm pretty sure after Update Aquatic hit pre-releases, it was out within a couple of weeks. Hey, Logical Geek Boy, what's up, man? Welcome along. Glad you're liking the look of the castle. I'm having a lot of fun with it. More than I expected to have. I've been putting off a castle build for the longest time because I didn't think I could do it justice, and now I feel like we are getting there. Which is a very cool feeling. Alright, let's mend the axe as well. Might as well mend the rest of the stuff while I'm here. It's not like we're not using the tools at this point. I don't need more than 80 levels, Vinos. I'm mending my equipment. And the only reason it's not mending faster is because keeping my armor on helps with Guardians because of the Thorns effect. Hey, Red Crystal, you're lurking while AFK fishing? Cool. The crown symbol on Twitch means you have Twitch Prime, I think, right? Just came from watching me on YouTube. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the series. Castle Week continues here on Twitch. And once I've killed enough of these guys, we will get right back to it. If you take your armor off, you won't have 80 levels for long. No, that is true. That is true. Even with a regeneration beacon here, these things pack a punch. Like, watch this. This is how long I can stand in front of Guardians for. Yep, and I'm going to die. If any of them get a laser shot off on you as well, that's it. You know me from the Hermitcraft recap. Congratulations. You found me. It's like a game of Where's Wally. Except a lot easier because I'm not in a crowd. Then again, Twitch is getting pretty crowded these days, isn't it? Guess a chest plate would help too. It would, yeah. But then, part of the reason I was here was mending my elytra to begin with. If I take the elytra off now, I'll probably get a bit more XP to the axe. Yeah, Fried Ceratops. Yeah, it's, the race is on at this stage. Will I complete the castle before 1.14, or will I be forced to redo everything with red nether brick stairs? Place bets now! Sorry I couldn't stay long in your stream the other day, but glad you appreciated the raid. It's good to see some folks in my chat were already subs of yours as well. Cool to see the community finding the good folks in the streamers community. Alright, I'm done with the Guardians. That'll do. $30 on 1.14. Does that mean I get the $30 if I win? Let's build a castle! I'm pretty sure Paranor is the one running the pool anyway. Just waiting for the new lily. Oh no, there's 3 new flowers coming to it. I hadn't even thought about that for a while, but yeah, we have new flowers arriving. New ways of getting blue dye. Oh my gosh, the fish. The fish, there's too many fish. Do I have a flint and steel in here? I do. Okay, good. Time to set fire to this place. Burn the whole thing to the ground. I got fire tick turned off. I need to get rid of these fish. Let's get rid of you, and you. And then basically all the raw cod I don't care about because I don't know if I can really be bothered to actually cook any of it. Got to be very careful not to accidentally throw my tools in the fire here. Throws in elytra. And again, the better way to do that would probably be to start the fire afterwards, right? So you throw all of the cod and stuff on the ground, make sure you haven't thrown anything valuable, and then pow. It's a little bit more sensible. Yeah, we're fine, though. We're fine. Do the sort of thing at your Enderman farm pre-collection system through your pickaxe once. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of people come up with, like, trash systems for their Enderman farm where they throw all of the Ender pearls into the void and then they just accidentally put a shulker box on top of it and it all just gets drained away. Oh, man. Everyone starts having flashbacks in the chat. It's a little bit more sensible, but when have we done the sensible thing on this channel, Loki? When exactly have I been known for being the sensible one? Exactly, Paranol. Exactly. The what face is real. Afternoon, Mr. Badgerseth. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Again, sensible. Using a sweep attack with a sword when there's lots of pigmen around. Sensible. Doing well, Mr. Badgerseth. I'm doing well. Matthias, welcome along. Good to see you. Oh, it feels good coming in through a giant nether portal. Now there's all of this castle stuff built up around here. I like it. I like it. And it's a straight shot to the exit for anybody who wants to leave in a hurry. But all in all, this place ain't looking half bad now. So I think what we're going to do is roofs first, because a lot more of them need doing. And I'll need some of the dark oak, which... Do I have any more in here? Nope. Did I put it in here? Oh, I did. Okay, good. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Yeah, that chicken clip is so funny. Chicken jockeys are just the best. They're so unpredictable and so hilarious. We need one rounded tower roof on here. So let's get started on that. We probably need a bit more stone as well. Do I have any more stone in here? Nope. I think we might even do what we've done with the gatehouse towers and up the height a little bit and then add in some gaps up there. Make it more of a watchtower style thing. Hey Bateman, watching the stream on your birthday. Best decision ever. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. So let's build this up a little more. Around the sides. And then we'll start the... Yeah, we'll start that there. So not too far down, so that we can leave plenty of room for wooden supports. With the birthday bits. Thank you, Fev, for the bits. Yeah, my birthday's coming up in May. Excited for that. More excited for the fact that it seems like all of the work we've been doing on the YouTube channel is going to be paying off, and... do I want to... I think I want those to be higher now that I've done this. Also, my axe and my shovel are the wrong way around. But, yeah, all of the stuff I've been doing on the YouTube channel has been getting enough attention, and I might hit 100,000 subscribers before my birthday at this rate. It is looking likely, which is incredible, and I want to thank you guys so much for your support. And if you are not subscribed over at youtube.com/pixelriffs, please do. When in May? It's the 17th. Same day as Minecraft's birthday. Minecraft is turning 10 and I'm turning 32 this year. So Yeah, there's a lot going on in that month. Do I watch Achievement Hunter? I do sometimes. I don't watch all of their stuff lately, but I've enjoyed their videos in the past. I was watching one of their Trivial Pursuit Let's Plays the other night as well, because my missus likes trivia games. And I think it's always quite good for a bit of fun. Oh yeah, and we had... Yeah, like... It's a double slab when I built it, but it's basically just a full block of dark oak on the corners. Question is, what kind of cake will I be having? I have no idea. I don't know if I'm even having a cake. Got to stay home because you were sick, so you get to watch a live stream? Well, there you go. Hope you feel better soon. Trotsky with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you, Trotsky. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. All the free time is spent watching me, Hermitcraft, and Achievement Hunter. It's a solid trio, I think. Also really been enjoying, thinking of Achievement Hunter and Gavin in particular, I've been really enjoying the new series of the Slow-Mo Guys YouTube original thing, Planet Slow-Mo. I think that just wrapped up the other day. Like the last episode came out, and that was a really good series. I think I enjoyed it even more than I enjoyed the... What was the one they did before that? I think it was just like the Super Slow Show or something. And yeah, I enjoyed Planet Slow-Mo better. I like the format. And I think the subjects were more fascinating. Ask Mrs. Riffs to make me a cake based on the Minecraft survival guide. That would be the most nerdy thing I had ever received. And also quite the baking challenge. Like, I really don't want to put that kind of pressure on anyone. Always slightly uneasy about the pickaxe being the red nether brick tool, and you're not sure why? I'm not sure why either. It's just nether brick. Just nether brick, but a different color. Here's some weird stuff about the nether brick, though, right? Because it's clear where the bricks are in this texture a lot of the time. But then on this one, it's got these 4 distinct little sections, these like 3 pixel wide bricks there. But I don't think that line is really supposed to be there. And on the new texture, it's much more clearly defined like that, but on the red nether brick texture right now, that looks like a solid brick on its own. Like, it doesn't look like there are 4 dots there. In the new textures, it does. I feel like it makes it look too patterny like that. A cake with the 1 chunk windmill on it. I'll have 1 chunk of cake. But yeah, like if we switch to the other textures, I need to delete half of these. I never used them. They were just there for that one video. But like this, there's like 5 of them now. And it tiles pretty well. But I never imagined nether brick as having like 2 rows of these wide bricks and then one that was like turned on its end, you know? But they do in the new textures. It's really strange. Also, this place looks a little bit different. Let's swing down and take a quick look at the front tower now in these new textures. I love the moss. I like the moss better now than I do in the current default. And yeah, it's looking a little bit cartoony around the edges, but that's a good thing. Fantasy castle. It's not meant to be like super realistic or whatever. A one chunk cake, 16 meters by 16 meters. And yeah, Fry, the height of a chunk is actually the full, like, world height. So, if anything, it'd be 16 by 16, and then it'd be 256 meters tall. It'd go all the way down to bedrock. That'd be a laugh. Brother had a Minecraft birthday recently. It was so cute. Hey, like, I've seen people do really great stuff on the Minecraft Reddit. They'll post, like, you know, here is my son's birthday cake, and they've done, like, some really incredible Minecraft-themed stuff. And not even just, like, we made the Minecraft cake in real life. It's like, no, they've done this incredibly artistic diorama on the cake, and I'm like, wow, that's dedication right there. Not sure I necessarily want that stuff on my birthday. I'm cool with traditional cake, you know? Black Feather, that is incredible news. That's very, very cool. I'm very happy to hear that. A 16 by 16 by 256 meter cake would look so funny. Yeah, it would be almost impossible to build, but that's a challenge for the next, like, American cooking show kind of thing. I was going to say Great British Bake Off, but they would never put the bakers on Bake Off through making a 256 meter high cake. Loco with a 1 bit. Thank you for the bit. Imagine the oven required. I mean, they'd probably have to bake it separately and then build it afterwards. But even so, that's a lot of work. That's a whole lot of work. Burnt Chickeny with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub here. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. See some sub hype in the chat, please. I've got these roofs down now. Like, I've been building so many of these things that I can basically do it without thinking. Watch as I immediately overrule that by, like, having to stop and think every couple of seconds here. They just make an advent calendar out of scones or something. I mean, pretty much. And all the scones have to be equal height and alike in dignity. It's that muscle memory thing at this stage. Once you've built repeated patterns of something like this, then it's so much easier to just hop around here and do everything super quickly. Parano, I'm pretty sure like half of the stuff in this chat has, or like half the commands at least came about because somebody was trolling somebody. Isn't that how streams work these days? We haven't got stairs and slabs for cake yet. You say that, but the cake can actually make some really great stairs. Have you ever done that thing where you basically eat a ton of slices of cake in a column, and you make like a stairway out of cake, and you can ride a horse up it? We'll have to do that at some point. It's going to be really funny to show you guys that. Cake stair, most vertical for least distance. Yeah. Because you can go up 7 blocks for every block. It's the steepest staircase in Minecraft. It's such a funny thing to witness. What am I using as the flooring for my castle? I haven't decided yet, really. Like, for the rooms and stuff? I don't know. Let's make that block there regular nether brick. And now I need to get some more red, because we're running out of red. I should flush the nether wart farm at some point soon as well, so we can keep going with that. All right, let's see how that turned out. Yep, that's pretty solid. I think it's actually built slightly differently to those ones, but that's okay. Ah! Caught in a trap. Fallen foul of the same thing that's killed many a Founder's Forge citizen. This is why I don't want to have villagers roaming around my town, because they will just kill themselves on the magma blocks. Nate Gams just checked out the Spawn Chunks podcast. They're really good. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the show. We have a lot of fun these days. Yeah, I think that tower is even slightly, like, larger, and it doesn't have the slabs around the outside yet. Maybe we should add those. Let's add those. Also, let's check the nether wart farm first. Make yourself a throne within the castle. I mean, I don't know about myself, but I'll make somebody a throne. Also, if it's meant to be an admin castle, I feel like the throne is going to be mainly a decorative thing. And the Baron or whoever works there is just going to have like their own chambers, their own office. I've come upon like a 2-stage process for harvesting this nether wart, by the way. I go through and fortune everything first, because if it's fully grown, that means we get more nether wart out of it. And then we just flush all of the content into the hopper to let it collect, because I never have enough inventory space. Build Doc M's throne. What was Doc M's throne again? I mean, was he built a bathroom in Minecraft? Is that what you're talking about? What's my opinion on Fortnite? I like the period of 2 weeks. Ha ha ha. I have no opinion of Fortnite. I've never played it. So yeah, now we flush all of this stuff down. It cascades merrily into the hoppers. Some of it travels over to the right and ends up on the chest because... Yeah, there you go. I didn't build any kind of preventative measure to stop it from doing that, so there's at least a stack or 2 over there. But then we take 4 or 5 stacks of it, I think 6 actually, probably, and we replant everything. Doc M's throne is the toilet. Yeah, there you go. Decided to use your birthday as a seed. Thanks to the second episode of the Spawn Chunks and you spawned on an island with nothing. Hey, me too, man. Me too. Somebody suggested for the AFK nether wart farm design that you could have a stack of nether wart in your offhand as well, and I think you can plant this from your offhand, but I've never tried. So let's go around like this and try it. Do I think bi-weekly is twice a week or once a fortnight? I'm pretty sure it's twice a week, right? I feel like that's how the term is used. And yeah, you can plant from both hands. Dual wielding. A nether villager that worked as a farmer for nether wart would be pretty useful. Would definitely make nether wart less of a hassle, but then I think, like most things in the nether, it's meant to be a bit of a chore. I feel like that's also thematically appropriate for stuff from the nether. So there we go, yeah, like we already have more from the farm after replanting than we would ever have just from, like, flushing it out the normal way. And this is still backed up to... Wow. There's more here than I thought. You have a rabbit in real life and a rabbit farm in Minecraft. They act so much like your rabbit. I mean, rabbits are pretty realistic as far as rabbits go. In-game rabbits are definitely pretty accurate. You're on Bedrock. You don't have dual hands. Yeah, that was the thing I added as a caveat after somebody commented that. Was like, it works for Java, but unfortunately not for Bedrock. Can't wait to get a 1.14 cat. I know, right? 1.14 cat's going to be really, really good with the new behaviors, like laying down on beds and stuff. That's just perfect. They need to upgrade dogs, though. I'm saying that as somebody... All right, somebody who just threw all of his spruce logs into a hopper. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a dog person. I like dogs. I don't necessarily think I would want to own a dog. I don't have a problem with dogs, but they do need to upgrade dogs. If cats are getting this many variants, I think dogs are probably next on the list. One 1.15, the dog update. Hey, Gekkigun Elf, I'm doing well. How are you? I'd be doing better if I could find a bed around here, but I feel like I make beds and crafting tables and then I just, like, put them in dumb places. This is the stack of shame over here. The amount I joke about adding crafting tables to the stack of shame, I never really do it. I've only got 3 over there. I've made a lot more crafting tables than that. Dogs becoming stronger the larger their pack. I like the idea. That would become way too OP very quickly. Dolores, you just finally bought Minecraft for PC. Congrats. Having made the update from Xbox 360. Ah, that's a journey I've been on. It's a journey I'm familiar with. There we go. Nether wart, nether brick. See, I thought crafting all of this red nether brick was going to be way more, like, material consuming and difficult, but with that nether wart farm, it's actually a lot easier than I expected it to be. Like, red nether brick is relatively easy to farm. There we go. 8 stacks and change. It's not terrible. If they put in chihuahuas, you want the option to punt them across the island. Get out of here, you. So, nether brick slabs was the next thing. Make a handful of those. I've been using them more frequently than I expected to with these towers and such. Pop these around here and there. Not planning on having any pattern with them. Built the villager farm, but for some reason they stopped breeding. Which version are you playing on? Because it works very differently on Bedrock than it does on Java. On Bedrock, the villages do not have a vertical height limit. The whole reason that villager breeder works on Java is because they have to be within, like, 5 blocks of, like, vertically of the other villagers in order to count in the same village. But then the boundary of a village still counts for encouraging other villagers to breed. You're on PS4? Yeah, it's probably going to work differently. It's probably a 1-to-1 ratio with the doors. So if you just plant a bunch more doors around the villager breeder, you'll probably get a 1-to-1 ratio of villagers to doors. Whereas on Java, it's 1-to-3. You need 3 doors for 1 villager. Icetail08 with a Twitch Prime sub. Let's get some sub hype in the chat, please. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Icetail, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Pixels. Enjoy your emotes. But I suggest PS4, Xbox 360. Of the two, definitely PS4. But if you have the choice of PS4 and Xbox One, definitely Xbox One. How many doors does one villager realistically need? 3 doors seems like a lot. Yeah, but then it's a population control thing. You could make a village with like 100 doors, and that means you get 100 villagers. I guess, I think on console editions, there is actually a hard limit of how many entities you can have in the world, and it will tell you when it doesn't want to breed any more dogs, for example. It's like, you have too many dogs, get rid of some of the dogs. There are like limit caps on that. I don't know if that's still the case with Bedrock, though, so I could be very wrong about that. But that used to be the case on like the old Xbox 360 version. They may have found a way around that on Bedrock, or just, you know, accepted the fact that players should have that level of control over their worlds regardless of performance, which is kind of what they do with Java. You've got 10 doors in your flat, you can understand them wanting at least 3. I mean, right? What have we done over there? That's 2 and then a stair block. And a few mossy around here as well. Not planning on copying this like note for note the whole way around, but I think it's probably good to establish some sort of pattern. Hard limits are still a thing with PS4. Yeah, PS4 kind of has a lot of hang-ons from the Legacy Console Edition. It's not just a port of Bedrock without some of the Bedrock functionality. Like, it's got some stuff that is still very much the same as it was on Xbox 360 and PS3. Throw a cracked stone brick in here. And then make this patch and a site, probably. I was hoping 1.14 would add large houses with multiple rooms. Aside from woodland mansions, you mean? Those have been around for a little while, I guess. Only the illagers are allowed to have big houses. I feel like maybe that's why villagers don't have bigger houses, is because they're worried they're going to get all grouchy and turn into illagers. Big houses drive them mad. It's like the Overlook Hotel situation. Put me in a mansion and see how quickly I turn. This is going to be a lot of trial and error stuff. It's a lot of standing back and looking at the textures of things. We need to replace that with woods. Can that guy see the comments? No, I am blind to the comments, as many people will tell you. Opulent with $1. Username checks out. Hello, Pixelriffs. I built your villager breeder for my own world. It's now a mess in there. I know how to sort them out, but I'm not sure if the children will escape when I have one block open from the ground. It depends how high off the ground it is. Because entities won't knowingly put themselves in too much danger as far as full damage goes. Hang on, how does this look on that side? It's like there, isn't it? Right, that makes no sense, but sure. Close the chat to avoid Minecraft spoilers, right? So much in this game to spoil. Well, wish somebody had warned me about that. Clay for the walls? I don't know. I'm not too keen on the raw clay texture for stuff like this. Yeah, okay, I understand what I'm doing now. No idea why this was just not working for me before. But yeah, the raw clay just kind of looks too much like not stone. Like, for whatever reason in my head, I can't divorce it from being like, that's clay. So I tend to avoid using it in builds like this. Appreciate the suggestion, though. Jumped in lava with full diamond armor and tools. Rip. Sorry to hear that. Green used raw clay quite successfully in Evo, but that was a very different build. Yeah, I imagine it was both a different build and like out of necessity more than anything, because clay blocks have been in the game for quite a while, but if he was on a version that didn't have stuff like andesite, you're sort of limited in your block choice. You have to get more creative. That's one of the things I like, though, about the limited amount of blocks in Minecraft. It's one of the reasons I don't tend to prefer like stuff you get in modded Minecraft, like chisel and everything, is because you spend too long worrying about what texture to use then and not enough time actually building stuff. Unless you're somebody who knows all of the textures already and has a specific one in mind, I never quite get a handle on like the sheer number of textures there are, and a lot of them look really good too, so it's a difficult decision. Hey Jay Harris, what's up? Does the castle have a name yet? It does not. It does not. And I said at the beginning of the stream that what I plan to do probably is... Is it there? I think it's there. What I plan to do is take a poll once I've got a short list of names. I'll probably whittle it down to 3 or 4 suggestions and then put up a poll end of next week, because I'm hoping we'll be done with the castle build by that point. Yeah, just need the windows in the top there. Where is... Aha! This random ender chest in the middle of nowhere. It's going well. Castle is starting to come together, looking a bit more detailed. Yeah. Yeah, the roof is probably my favourite bit. Got loads of different little details going in here and there. What can I throw out? Oh, okay. Consolidate the chicken. There we go. I need to go and get some more ender pearls soon. And on that side, the windows are that high, I think. They're like up here.
People are still discussing the name of the castle.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out what to call it.
Yeah, I said I'll take a poll when I have 3 or 4 suggestions that I like. But I'll do that on YouTube. I'm not going to do that here. It's difficult to keep track of everybody's names in the chat when they drop them in there. Yeah, that's looking... They're the same height, but then I built the walls of that one block higher, so the tower part is actually 1 block higher. So that's why the stair comes to the middle of those windows and is above those windows. But
It looks neat, though.
yeah, I said in the video, I was like, I'm not rebuilding that entire roof just because it's 1 block too low. Like, I'm going to keep it there and it's fine. And I was like, this adds character, and anybody who disagrees can fight me.
I know. Yeah, things don't need to be like perfectly symmetrical because like things in life aren't perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah, that ain't how real life works, though. Is the idea. Let's hop up there. Nice. Good catch. Thankfully there's nothing spawning down here yet. We need to flatten this out a little bit so that remains that way, because isn't this... Okay, that's 9 block light, and that's 8. Okay, so that's not going to spawn anything, but it's close. And down here, I will craft myself some spruce slabs, I think.
Castle face.
Yeah, Castle McCastleface is a pretty regular suggestion. The stately home of Lord McCastleface. It's an old established family name. Let's throw the firework out. Hi. I feel like calling it Castle Grayskull is misleading, because then everyone would expect it to be like actual Castle Grayskull, which it's not. I feel like then I would have to build Snake Mountain as well, and that's Joel Duggan's department. Same goes for any of the Game of Thrones castles and anything from Lord of the Rings. Well, I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings doesn't have any, like... I mean, they kind of have castles. They have more towers. They like towers in the Lord of the Rings world. Big fan of towers. They're like, his castle at Barad-dûr, and I'm like, I guess there's a castle there. Castle Anthrax, yeah, from Monty Python. Don't worry, I got the reference. Looks about right. Need some torches up in some of these. Didn't work very well, did it? Mildly better. Just a bit of suffocation damage. No worries. And from this tower, they can keep an eye on what's going on out here. They can keep an eye on the slime farm. Speaking of which... Yep. Looking good. Looking solid. Oh my goodness, what? What now? Snug Dad with $111. Oh my gosh, Patreon support seems limited to $32 per month, but your effort should be recognized to a much higher degree than that. Here's another contribution for the gear update I was talking about recently. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness me. What a generous, generous donation. Can we see some hype in the chat, please, for Snag Dad? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Should be naming this castle after you for that amount of support. There we go. All the hype in the chat. Wow. So generous. Thank you. Is that my biggest donation? Probably. At this point, yeah. I'm inclined to say yes. Do a little bit of detail work on the walls. Castle Snag, it has a certain ring to it. I'm sure I'm going to have people complaining that you can parkour your way up these walls. It's fine. Welcome to video games. All the ones. We are number one. Getting an engineer in to do a snag list. There you go. A single PogChamp. Thank you for the PogChamp. The ones continue. There we go. I got you. I think Paranol's out of the room for a little bit. Oh, there you go. Another single bit from Fev. Castle name invalid. 404, castle not found. I beg to differ. Subtle right now. Could use a little something extra. And another one. And another one. Are we being a generous bunch today? I really appreciate it. Thank you. Support does not go unnoticed. And yeah, a gear update might be in the works soon. So that I can play with my speakers on, I actually disable the speaker feed for my microphone that I can use when I have headphones on. I think my mixer is just starting to go on the blink a little bit, because occasionally when I switch it back on, the feed doesn't quite catch up. So I kind of need to see to that at some point soon. So the money will go to good use, I think. Darmoon doesn't want to be left out. Thank you for the bit. So let's do a similar thing on here. This tower isn't as wide as the gatehouse ones, so we can do something a little more trim here. That's looking nice. Black Feather, you're back from grocery shopping. What did you miss? A little bit more castle detailing. Working on the gatehouse towers here and some of the other towers along this front line. We built a roof. There's a lot more roofs to build, but I'm in my detailing headspace right now. Hey, Elkhorn, what's up? My Muffin and I with the 500 bits. Saying I'm a Minecraft god. I disagree. But thank you. Minecraft omnipotence is not easily achieved. Do I like the look of actual vines on the castle walls versus mossy stone brick? I don't really like vines as much, and they're too difficult to control. Like, I understand you can just put string around them, but I don't like to have string everywhere just to justify putting the occasional patch of vines. And the more vines you add, the more string you need. Or like there are other like, clever ways of containing vines, but I feel like they require a little bit too much effort for my liking. Could throw some cobble into the mix. I could. I'm considering doing that on this tower because it's at the end of the ravine and it feels like it would probably be a little bit more weathered by all of the heat coming from the ravine here. So I'm thinking about putting some cobble down here and some cracked stone brick at the foundation. But the texture of cobble is so radically different from some of this other stuff that I feel it stands out a little too much. Unless used, incredibly sparingly. I also feel like cobblestone is one of those materials that carries a certain association with it because it's an early game material. It always feels very like early Minecraft when you put it in these builds. But I think maybe, yeah, if we treat it like it's cracked stone brick that's broken down even further, then you can kind of keep that combination going. I feel like that works pretty well, actually. Have it go around the corner there instead of up. Which texture pack do I use? This is the programmer art. This is what default Minecraft looks like. Oh, and I guess we do need to do something about this as well, so maybe we'll bring that out one more block here and there. How do you make cracked stone brick? Smelt stone brick in a furnace. And pretty soon we'll be able to have cracked stone brick stairs and slabs as well, I think. Which is very exciting. But yeah, having that one be the cracked one and just having it stand out like that by itself really adds something to this ravine as a concept. Could even have a couple of like blocks of cobblestone hanging down into here a little bit, potentially. As though it's crumbled slightly and is leaving debris around the place. Like, let's try one there. Maybe one here. Potentially something like that as well. Step back and eye this up. Yeah, that's not too bad. We could probably put in slabs and stairs and that kind of thing as well, just to detail it a little more. Let's just add some slabs first. Lost your hardcore world to the pre-release horse bug? Oh no, I'm sorry. These troublesome pre-releases. Let's put that there. I keep trying to pick up this cobblestone, but I've no room in my inventory right now. There we go. I like the grass growing up from here as well. We have a little bit of mossy stone in this wall. And we're going to add leaves and stuff later on as well to further naturalize things, but that's not looking terrible. Obviously, the rest of this is still blank canvas, but we're getting there. 190 people here right now. Gosh, thank you guys so much for coming out today. Hope you're all having a great Thursday. If this is your first time watching the stream, you might know me from YouTube, but if not, my name is Pixel Riffs. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber and streamer. Been streaming here on Twitch for a little while now. I'll say probably about 1.5 years, but we've only recently started streaming Minecraft more regularly, and I gotta say, the support you guys have shown on these streams has been mind-blowing to me, and I want to thank you all once again for stopping to check out the stream. I hope you're all enjoying watching this castle come together. I'm having a lot of fun making it. I'm not having a lot of fun with inventory management. I'm sorry if that's a little bit frustrating to everybody else as well. Why did it delete you saying 1.14? Probably the dot makes it think it's a link. Twitch is like that sometimes. Auto moderator takes out anything that looks like a link. So that's probably the dot that's doing that. First saw the Stardew Valley YouTube videos, and thus a Stardew obsession was born. Probably one of the only people who's come from my Stardew Valley videos, but thank you. I miss playing that game. I do occasionally play it on my holidays when I want something else to dip into. It's an absolute delight. Anyone who's not checked out Stardew Valley before absolutely should. Got Stardew on mobile. Oh, I couldn't have it on mobile. I'd play it all the time. Same with the Switch. Although I'm having so much fun with Breath of the Wild, by the way, that, yeah, I can see the Switch definitely being a more dominant force if I didn't have to, you know, go to work and play this lovely game instead. Yeah, me and my wife got into Stardew Valley a while ago, and we played the co-op version of that a little bit as well. So there are probably a few streams on various of my channels which are more Stardew content. I haven't done much of it recently. Oh. Let's put another one here. Khaleesi with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub here. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. And 4 bits from Fev. No games we can play again for bits today, but you have a few left in the bank. There we go. Yeah, I'm not mining for diamonds today, so thank you so much, though, Fev. I think I might keep these sections around here stone, but then the next one up is probably going to be wood, after the same fashion as we have with the gatehouse towers. Take those out, put logs in. Did not mean to get rid of that one. Breath of the Wild's incredible. It's very, very good. I've only just, like, I must have played that game already for, I don't know how many hours at this point, like 20, maybe 30 hours. And I'm only just getting to, like, going for one of the first divine beasts. And that's only because I wandered into Zora's domain and basically all the Zoras came out of the woodwork and said, hey, the prince wants to talk to you. Like every Zora I met was basically on me to go across that bridge and talk to the prince. Prince seems like a cool dude, by the way. But, yeah, it turned out that the rest of the game was just too distracting. And I've gone around and done shrines and various little side quests and stuff like that, but I just go and wander. It's a very good game for just wandering around. Hey, Fix It. Good to see you. Roof design on the latest video is so good. You never considered a mixed roof palette, but it'll absolutely be stealing. Yeah, it's not something I'd really considered either, but then I was playing around with different materials and nether brick. Salty Hail with the Twitch Prime sub, thank you. But yeah, I didn't think the two nether bricks would mix as well as they did, and then all of a sudden it just seemed like the perfect combo. That plus a little bit of bone block. Oh, now you're talking. What is the most urgent gear update and what will it cost? I don't know. I don't have anything like quite spec'd out yet. So please don't please don't feel compelled to like contribute to that any more than you already have. It's very kind of you, but I think I can come up with a few things. And thanks to everybody turning up to these streams and subscribing, I am not doing too badly these days. Appreciate you thinking of me, though. Right, let's throw in some more stone brick in this guy. And the side of that is already done. We probably need to treat the other side in a similar fashion. Any word on partnership? Hey, Shane, what's up? I briefly covered that at the start of this stream. I went back to the screen on Twitch where you can apply for partnership in the first place, because the apply button stays there even while your application is like in review. So I went back to that screen and it said, hey, you have a result, check your email. I checked my email. I have not received an email from Twitch about anything. So yeah, the verdict was supposed to be delivered to me by email and has not been yet. So jury's still out. Ball's in Twitch's court at this stage. The status is meh, exactly. And like I said, I've said on several streams in the past that like I am absolutely fine rocking it as an affiliate, and like partnership has a few benefits, but there is no benefit greater than the generosity of you guys as an audience, because yeah, I would absolutely not be doing this as much as I do without the generous support of you folks in the chat, turning up to streams and cheering me on. And that's not just a reference to the bits, that's like everything you do to support me is very encouraging as far as keeping these streams going. I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon, and that is all very much thanks to you. Partnership or no partnership, doesn't matter to me. We're here for the long haul. How old was I when my beard started growing? Excellent question. I don't really remember. I feel like I probably had some, like, little fuzzy facial hair when I was, like, 15 or so. But I remember going back to school to do my GCSEs, which was, like, 16. I was age 16. And what, like, we'd basically had, like, a bunch of time off at the end of that year to, like, revise in our own time, more or less. Like, that, the second half of that year was basically just revision. There weren't any more classes to teach. It was just like, do well in your exams now, guys. And one of my classmates came back to do the exams with everybody, and he had like a full beard. I was incredibly jealous. He looked so cool. He turned up with a denim jacket and a full beard. But yeah, my beard started coming in properly, and I remember actually wanting to do anything with my beard in like university, I guess. Like, when I just turned 18, I was like, sure, I will actually shave my beard into something vaguely resembling a facial hairstyle. But, yeah. Full beard has been there for a while now. I think Minecraft YouTubers like me would benefit more from streaming on YouTube. Yeah, maybe. In terms of my sanity, though, nah. I don't like the YouTube streaming features. I dislike the way they are put together. Moderation in the chat is harder. And yeah, like having my existing subscriber community see me stream on YouTube, sure, I imagine there would probably be a bit of an increase from what I see here, but I mean, I'm doing pretty well on Twitch for a start. I think it's also important not to put all of my eggs in one basket. Like, if YouTube, for whatever reason, has some kind of issue where the stuff I do does not become viable, I still have Twitch now. I've established an audience here. I think that's good enough for me. Also, as far as analytics goes, uploading stream VODs to the same channel as you upload like edited content and you stream live on really messes with the YouTube algorithm to the point where it will start to value your existing videos less because your stream VODs aren't getting as many views. But it's way more convenient to just upload that VOD afterwards instead of like move it to a separate channel. Whereas on Twitch, I have it linked to my VODs channel on YouTube, so I can just hit export after I finish a stream here, and it will load it to the VODs channel instead of me having to go through youtube.com/pixelriffs, and I find that a lot more amenable than the alternative. Twitch just has a better ecosystem for streaming, in my opinion, and that's why I'm pretty committed to staying here for now. Mumbo's stream chat is a good reason not to stream on YouTube. Assuming Mumbo ever streamed, which he doesn't. It's been a while since we've done that joke. I'm not sure if anyone will really understand that. When your beard grows, you're just going to have a chin strap beard. Fair enough. You do what suits you best at the time. Like I had a kind of like, they call it a Van Dyke sort of thing, where it's just like, people think it's a goatee, but a goatee is just the bottom part. Like I had the mustache and things as well for a while, and that was very much a like late 2000s me facial hairstyle, and looking back on it, it's not the kind of thing that I would do again now. Who is this Mumbo guy again, exactly? Dadavio is saying Twitch is meant for streaming, YouTube is meant for videos. Yeah, I think YouTube trying to get in on the streaming market is sort of working against them a little bit. They're just trying to do too much. Like aim to specialize, and you'll always end up with a really great platform, which, I don't know. I don't know about you. Some people have been remarking on the recent decisions YouTube has made and thinking that they are not the most sensible things in the world. I reserve my opinions on that stuff, mostly in case anybody's listening. But, yeah, I rather think I prefer Twitch for streaming, generally. Making a Lytra launcher in one of the towers. Hey, might be an option. Might be an option. I think some of this stuff needs a bit more depth, though. So I think maybe we do need to hop over here and add something like we did on the gatehouse towers, where we have stairs kind of wrapping around the logs here. Like that. Step back and see what this looks like. Maybe. We'll leave it for now and see what I think about it in a minute. Never underestimate the power of just like letting something sit there for a bit and then deciding if you want to come back to it later. Although over here on these towers, it's actually the stair that starts there, and the stone brick is one row up from that. But then it starts to get too close underneath the extra little bits of the tower there, so not certain. We'll see. Some people do their serious streams on one platform and then after party stream on another. Yeah, I mean, there's different approaches to that kind of stuff for sure. And like alt accounts for stuff. That's something that I haven't necessarily thought about doing myself. Like, it's not really an approach I understand, but it totally depends what you want to do with said account. Stair on the log, then a slab. Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad suggestion. Inventory's just full of junk right now, and all of it is stuff I need. Let's put some of these spare torches in here. We're not doing roofs right now, so we can put those away. We don't need all of this stone. Alright, Paranor, no worries. Take care of yourself. If I change the arch already. This one, yeah, I made it a little bit higher, and I think the angle is slightly different. I'm still not sold on it, but I want to do something a bit different with the gate in general. Had a dream that a Vindicator and an Evoker switched powers, and the Vindicator put pufferfish in your house and turned your carpets from magenta to blue. Sounds like something the Vindicator would do. Those wacky dream Vindicators. Yeah, let's try this with the, ouch. Hoop. Let's try it with the stair there and then a slab above. It's like Skull Daisy was saying. How often do I end up standing next to a bed right-clicking for what seems like 5 minutes? Too often. More often than I would care to admit. Boop. And oh, boop. There we go. How about that? You know, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I like it. We'll go with it. If we dwell too long on these details, we will never get onto anything else. But the front, like... the front part of this castle is actually looking reet good now. To borrow a northern phrase. It's looking reet good. And there's still some stuff where we could drop in a bit of detail here and there. Like that side of that tower and like the stone bit across there looks a little bit barren. We could maybe put some more overhang on these roof sections here. The red color gives it a very evil imperial color. I guess it could be, yeah. The blood red. To me, it's more of like a... in keeping with the fiery nature of the ravine we have going on over here and the magma everywhere. It also connects it to the Nether, because it's nether brick, and so it seems like a resource that if these are the only people who have access to the Nether, which in this fiction of the town is kind of what I'm thinking for this castle, then it makes sense that they would just plunder the Nether for all its resources and use it to build their own, like, fortress, their own seat of power, while the rest of the town, like, if you look at this way, it's a lot more, like, earthy tones. It's kind of browns, and prismarine is kind of included in that here and there, and it's got more of an earthy feel to it. And if you look over here, suddenly that changes, and it's got a lot more of the red, prominent red here, and then like the red undertones that you find in spruce wood. It feels a little bit more unnatural compared to the rest of the stuff in the area. If we step back and look at this from the air now, by the way, not bad. Not bad, I like it. Don't forget to add stairs and slabs for detail. Yeah, the thing about building on this sort of scale is that you can manage to do a lot of detail with full blocks. I feel like things have a tendency to get over-detailed occasionally if you include stairs and slabs, and you find yourself having to just pore over every single small detail instead of looking at the bigger picture more. And that's what means builds end up taking forever. And it's fine, like it's a valid approach if that's the approach you want to take, but I think sometimes just working on the full block scale can really lead to you getting more stuff done. It's the problem I have with mods like Chisels and Bits and micro block mods, where you end up just focusing on the tiny details of one thing and then you spent 2 hours on that instead of building an actual house. Again, nothing against the people who build stuff like that. It's just, lately I feel like it's not an efficient use of my time. Then again, I've never been one for efficiency. We know this, so perhaps I shouldn't think too hard about that. The end wall of this is all kinds of weird, by the way, because it's at an angle. But the end wall of this sort of reminds me of like the end wall of a church, and I want to put a massive stained glass window there, but for the practicalities of this being a castle, that really makes no sense. So we're not going to do that. Like making it some sort of little chapel on the end here, like might be a good idea in principle, but then all it'd take is one rock through that window. They'd be constantly repairing it if any of the townsfolk got disgruntled by the decisions of the people in the castle. They just, like, brick through the window of the church. Would not be the ideal situation. And that's one touch of realism that I'm willing to abide by, I think. Do I have a favourite stone brick variant? I mean, I haven't thought that closely about them. I feel like I don't use the variants often enough. Like, I don't tend to use mossy stone brick and cracked stone brick very much for things. Let's put some torches in here right now. While there's no mobs spawned in here currently, but there will be if we leave it for too long. There we go. Is that covering the corners? Looks like it. Great. Would they really want to anger the shrine of the lava gods? I mean, yes, maybe. People do stupid stuff. We could put some kind of embossed relief on the wall here if we had the time, the patience, a bit more depth, some more detailed blocks to work with. But we don't. We don't have any of that. Least of all the patience. So I think what we're going to do is build up a more supporting structure around the base of it here. I haven't really done this elsewhere with the castle walls. They all sort of feel supported enough for the most part. And it helps the shape. Whereas this, you kind of get the sense of what the shape is supposed to be. So I think we'll just add in a frame around the bottom here. This cup is the best cup. It is. I've actually looked for this cup online to see if I can get another one, but I don't think they make them anymore. It is a ceramics brand that is still in operation, but no longer makes this particular, like, model of earthenware. Is it earthenware, I guess? It says rayware. If it's a rift in space-time, does it contain infinite tea? It contains infinity. At a church, there were stained glass windows in the graveyard for all who tried to smash the windows and disturb the peace. Not a bad suggestion. Would also mean we have to change up the design of this building a little bit more. I mean, you could probably get away with just having like a straight chapel, but a lot of if we're going with like, that's the thing, we don't have to go with like the Christian style of building, but like a lot of churches are basically cross-shaped. Like if you look at them from top down, they are shaped like a cross. Will I join TB? Tuberculosis? I'm good, thanks. Oh, you mean truly bedrock? No, probably not. I am not really keen on the idea of joining a multiplayer server right now because the Minecraft Survival Guide is taking all of my attention, and that's a good thing. I'm very much enjoying how well this series is going, but then if I spend too much time on other stuff, then it pulls focus from this series, which means I'm able to make videos less frequently. And I don't want that at this point. I think this is very much a series I would like to continue for as long as I can. Yeah, I think we're doing that. I think we're doing that. I'll maybe swap out a couple of these blocks for the odd stone brick here and there. Give this more of a framed feature, and then we can probably detail that a little bit more. Another night gone, no Enderman, you're losing patience. Oh, I'm sorry, Fev, I'm sorry. It had one bit left. Fograv, thank you so much for 2 months of Twitch Prime. Let's see some hype in the chat, please. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Will I join Hermitcraft if invited? I don't know. There was a thread on the Hermitcraft subreddit the other day that was like, why hasn't Pixelriffs been invited? Which is always a great way to start a line of questioning. Why haven't you done this thing that I think would be good for the server? It's like, that's not how servers work for a start, but also like, I don't know if I would join Hermitcraft if invited, simply because right now I think this series is really good for my channel, and I don't know how Hermitcraft would change that. Obviously, if you join a server like Hermitcraft, you want to be able to keep up with everybody. You want to be able to, like, participate in all the community stuff. You're probably spending most of your time on that server. And right now I spend most of my time here, and this is a really great series. And I feel like I would probably end up losing all momentum with Survival Guide if I ended up joining another multiplayer server. Not to mention the fact that I already have a multiplayer server I could be playing on, which is decidedly vanilla. And it feels very strange to not be on that server, but be on a different one. It'd obviously be great to collaborate with the Hermits on stuff, but then you could also do that outside of the context of just being on Hermitcraft as well. So, like, I've done a series with Python. Grian's been on my podcast, so has Wells Knight. Made so much progress on the castle. Yeah, we got a lot done. Just the details and stuff on this front wall we've been doing on the stream today. I did that side of the gatehouse first, but we've kind of copied those over. It's looking pretty great so far. I like this now. It does still kind of look like a church or a chapel or something, but we can roll with that. It can be, you know, unconfirmed. Should invite Python to the spawn chunks. It's definitely an option. Yeah, I'll probably give it some consideration. We also want to we want to expand our reach a little bit. We want to start getting a wider variety of people, of guests on that show, because so far everyone we've been interviewing has been male. A bunch of them have been from Hermitcraft, and obviously Hermitcraft is a prominent server right now, so it really kind of makes sense to invite guests on who are going to be recognizable to your listener base, but there's also a lot more fish in the Minecraft sea, especially now the update to Aquatic has happened. But yeah, some of the people who are on like Artisan SMP, like Gemini Tay or Pearlescent Moon would be good. It'd be great to have False Symmetry on, even though she's part of the Hermitcraft crowd. Or Stress Monster, or Zombie Cleo, but I know Zombie Cleo is probably, like, of the three of them, she's the most committed to her own life and her own career, and probably has other commitments that would be more difficult to stretch a podcast appearance around. But I don't know, their lives, like, it's difficult to say who would be available when. It'd also be great to, after how good the episode with Logic was, and I'm not just saying that because he's in the chat, like, it was a really great episode. It was good to have somebody with a lot more technical knowledge on the show, compared to Joel and I. We're very sort of, like, early to middle of the road kind of technical guys. We're not out here inventing the new redstone contraptions everyone's using. We kind of go with the flow and work with the stuff that we have seen online or know enough about. But yeah, getting somebody better versed in technical stuff would be great. But we also want to space that stuff out. We don't want to just interview like technical after technical after technical. I feel like so far we've just interviewed so many builders that it'd be nice to have a change. I've been talking for ages about getting more variety into it, interviewing map makers and people who work with Minecraft in education. Would we have a dev on the spawn chunks? Interesting question. I would love to approach some of the devs or some people who just work for Mojang, because remember, there's not just the development team involved there. There's community managers and like Mark Watson, who works on Realms and does a lot of like the user-generated content, the kind of community maps and that kind of stuff. There's so much that goes into the Mojang organization beyond and Minecraft, not just even Mojang. Like the Microsoft side of things cannot be ignored as well these days. There's so much stuff that goes into that beyond just the people who develop the game. But I don't know how willing they would be to make an appearance on a show where it's essentially like a fan cast. I'm not certain what the limitations would be on their appearances. I don't know. If you work with someone called Mark Watson, we can just get him. It'd be funny. The name of the podcast is The Spawn Chunks. We post it on our website, but then it gets pushed out to all good podcast services via RSS feed. So it ends up on iTunes, it ends up on Spotify, Google, Android, like all of the places that you can normally find podcasts. We also have a YouTube channel for it now. Episodes get posted there, usually the same day, but occasionally it takes a little bit longer because we have to do a little bit of video processing. The video itself is just the art from the show that gets put up on iTunes. So it's just like the thumbnail art. It's not like a video podcast or anything. But yeah, it is called the Spawn Chunks. You can find it at thespawnchunks.com. And personally, as far as podcast app goes, if you're using iOS, I really recommend Overcast. I've found that to be probably the best podcast app as far as like a just on that device listening experience goes. I have no idea if it like integrates well with a desktop version, if it has a desktop version or a browser version or whatever. But the Apple Podcasts app has just gone in a direction that I am not too keen on. And Overcast kept a lot of the same features of that. What resource packs am I using? Just Vanilla Tweak's Lower Shield. Yeah, I don't have any other resource packs enabled right now. Podcasts are just domesticated radio. They are, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like user-generated talk radio. I say user-generated like it's, you know, all sort of centralized somehow. It's not quite the way it works, but we need to increase the height of this wall, I think. Also, how are we going to get into this building? we need to actually have a door here, don't we? I'm like, that's the outside on the opposite wall there. There's no way of getting into this place. All right. Let me rethink my strategy here a little bit. Let's put something like this here. That's going to be where the door is. That's going to have to be taller, maybe. My Muffin and I with 500 bits. Your builds are amazing, man. I love it. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying watching this one come together. I don't normally do too much building on camera either, but it seems like for whatever reason this project just has a lot of stuff I can just work away on and not think too hard about it, which is unusual for me. I tend to overthink a lot of stuff. People mentioned Il Mango in the chat just now, and I have his intro stuck in my head. It's so catchy. I wish I had catchy intro music, but I've tried doing intro music for a while. I don't know. I find that sometimes people's intros last for a little bit too long, and if they're not just perfect, then it just becomes a part of the video that you always skip. So I don't really believe in doing like an animated intro for my videos anymore. The Minecraft Wiki, the 1.14 release date has changed from Q2 to Q1, or that message scrolled away before I could see too much of it. But yeah, it's basically been brought forward. I think the only reason that's happened, because the wiki is a user-edited resource, right? It's edited by fans. It's not updated by Mojang themselves. This needs to be further down for the proportions of this door to make sense. But I think that's probably just because the pre-releases are out now, so everyone assumes, yeah, it's probably coming in the next month. So yeah, this is going to be the main door of this place, whatever this place is. It's looking more and more like a chapel the more I do to it. I suppose that makes sense. Changed from 2019 to Q2 2019. Right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Playing Minecraft and watching my videos. Thank God for dual monitors. There you go. Yeah, I've got 3, and I need that for all my windows. How often do I stream? I stream 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Always around this time, so tune in from 3 p.m. UK time, you'll probably catch me. Sometimes the Sunday stream happens a little later. But that's mainly because I have other commitments on weekends. I have to get the Hermitcraft recap done. Sometimes that gets in the way. What is my favorite animated movie? Monsters, Inc. Love Monsters, Inc. Everything about that movie just makes me so happy. 3 monitors from one PC? Yep. And people ask why I need a 1080 Ti. It's for running several monitors off of it without worrying too much about everything breaking. Love that film when you were younger. I love that film now. I'm a 32-year-old man, nearly, and I love Monsters, Inc. It's just a great film. Do I hear they're planning a Monsters TV show for Disney Plus? Really? I thought Monsters University was okay. It was better than I expected it to be, but I'm really not a fan of people just milking franchises for all they're worth, and I kind of like the one and done formula. I'm like, this was great. Now let's preserve how perfect it was by never touching it again. I mean, that's not the best business strategy, I know, but yeah, that's just my feelings on the subject. I like it to kind of hold that special place in everybody's hearts, and then I worry that the too much of a good thing ruins it for people. University was a bit meh. Yeah, it was okay. It was nowhere near the instant classic Monsters, Inc. is, in my opinion. It's supposed to be called Monsters at Work, and talking to Billy Crystal and John Goodman. That's the thing as well, like, if you get somebody else to do the voice... Oh, I love John Goodman so much. He's amazing as Sully. He's such a good character actor. A lot of films are ruined by sequels. Star Trek and Star Wars are both examples where the sequel vibe has been successful. Well, yeah, the more recent Star Wars sequels, yes. And I guess the prequel trilogy was successful, depending on your definition of success. The little high five is awake. Hey, little high five. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Not that I can see you, but you know what I mean. I've seen The Big Lebowski. I have. It took me a while to get it. Both that and, like, there's a couple of movies like that I really didn't get on the first viewing, and then I realized, oh, right, this whole thing is meant to just be a vehicle for really quotable lines. Like, it's just meant to be a dialogue fest. It's not meant to have any actual, like, narrative purpose. Lebowski is a good movie. But yeah, I had the hardest time grasping what on earth it was all about. And then it's like with Nell and I, it's one of those things where you just go away quoting it forever after that point. Finally got a VPN so you can watch all the TV series on Netflix. Got any recommendations? Oh, good question. I mean, in terms of like what I watch, it tends to be mainly either sitcoms, stuff like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you haven't watched any of that, watch it. It is one of the best shows on television, and I'm so glad it got another season. Although that season is not going to be on Netflix for a while. So I like Being John Malkovich. I do quite like Being John Malkovich. I haven't seen that for ages, but yeah, really, really interesting film. Quite bizarre. I was once watching that on a train, and I just like had my laptop out and I was watching it back in the days when I had a laptop with a DVD drive, because I was actually watching the DVD of it. And at one point I took my headphones out just to give my ears a break, and the girl who was sat next to me, who was probably about my age, maybe a little bit older, leaned over to me and was like, "That's a terrible film." We ended up talking about it the rest of the time and just like chatting and stuff. But yeah, somehow for whatever reason that was the thing that sparked that interaction, was she just really thought Being John Malkovich was an awful movie. Why would you watch Netflix if you could watch Pixel Riffs live? Sometimes I'm not live. Sometimes you got to watch something else. I understand. I'm not going to take it personally. Santa Clarita Diet is good. I have that. I think my missus has that on her to watch list. But yeah, I really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I really liked One Day at a Time. I'm very sad that that is now gone. It's not gone from Netflix, but it's not getting renewed. The Ministry of Time is another show that we really liked. It's a Spanish show, so you have to watch it with subtitles if you're not a Spanish speaker. I don't think there's a dub. If there is, it's probably, it's probably a little bit of it is lost in translation. But yeah, that's a really great show. They made an American sort of version of it, or a rip-off of it, I guess, called Timeless, which is apparently nowhere near as good as Ministry of Time was. So that's getting a 4th season as well soon, which is exciting. I think that's all I want to do with this for now. We'll probably come back and do something with the face of that. It seems too convenient not to. But I don't know what I want to do yet, and I don't think I want to make it stained glass, so our options are limited. We'll return to that another time. I think what I want to do now, there it is continue doing some roof work. Because the front of this is now looking rather good, in my opinion. Yeah, it's getting there. The gate still needs a bit of work, but that's going to be a special case, I think. And the walls probably need making a little bit higher in spots and spaces. Any thoughts on the new crawling? I can't talk. Any crouching and crawling mechanic? I don't know if it's really officially a mechanic yet. I think it's just them stopping players from getting out of that crouch animation. Like if you do this, if you end up like in this space, and like you're still technically standing up, you're just like phasing through the block. I think it makes sense to stay in whatever animation you were in during that, but I don't know if they're going to add it as a mechanic. To me, it feels a little bit too broken for exploration and so forth. Like, the player being 2 blocks tall, I don't know why it feels like it's such an unchangeable thing, but it feels like a lot of the basic mechanics of this game are based around that notion. Secret entrances for the castle. Yeah, I'm going to worry about that stuff once we've got more of the structure done. Like, I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm for, like, stuff I could add to the castle in the fullness of time, and the main problem with that approach right now is that I get too distracted by those ideas, and I end up, like I said with the chisels and bits thing, you end up building ideas for the castle before you've built the castle itself, and you end up with a secret entrance that doesn't lead anywhere. I'll store it in my head, but it's not something I plan to do on the stream. Like, not right now. Can name the castle Faulty Towers. Just populate it entirely with villagers named Basil. How's that for height? Looks pretty proportional from here. Can we see it from the front? Whoop. I think this has the benefit of being like, yeah, it's the tower you see through there. I think a couple of blocks higher, but then we're also gonna have a couple of framework pieces around that as well. So maybe the roof will compensate for the rest of that. Name all of the villagers Basil and Manuel. I feel like I should have put the other entrance where the portal is. I mean, if it was meant to be a castle that you just passed all the way through, then yeah. I feel like the natural landscape, I mean, you've got this giant hill behind the castle there. I mainly wanted the portal to just be really accessible for the player. Here's an interesting side effect of building this castle that I haven't really considered, is that we come out the back here, and from the castle on the left, we end up seeing the archways over there on the right. Still in progress, a lot of them, but then a lot of my stone is now going into this project instead of over there. Doctor Who or Sherlock? Right now, neither. Do I plan on doing some organic stuff? Probably, yeah. That's more of like a long-term thing, I think. Let's actually bring this down a couple blocks. Start it there. There we go. But yeah, doing like dragons and stuff would be really cool. I have a limited experience with that kind of stuff, and I've built them here and there, but it's the kind of thing that will probably take a lot more planning in creative mode, and it will take me a little while to get it right. So if we end up doing that, it'll be much later. Also, as far as like a tutorial series goes, it's not necessarily something that makes sense for the average Minecraft player to build, unless they're really into building. I feel like just the amount of time I've been spending on this castle project is justified by how many people want to build a castle. Castle tutorials are one of the most searched things in YouTube, so you'll typically find a lot of people very interested in this kind of build, but then organic stuff is a little bit more niche. Not that I'm just chasing views with this series, but it's a concern. The lore of this castle is that the folks who run this castle basically are the only people in the area who have access to the Nether, which is why theirs is the only place that is built out of Nether brick. The bone blocks are kind of incidental, but I like them. And the big Nether portal in there is basically my main access to the Nether hub in this world. The Nether hub is kind of out of canon. It's not like it's not going to be specifically built by the people of this town. I figure once we get into the Nether, it's kind of running on its own rules at that point. Am I planning to build something complicated like a TNT-powered cobble farm or a tree farm? Yes, probably, especially now that the TNT drop rate has changed. I feel like this is kind of the ideal time to build something like that. I don't know when I'll build it, though, so I can't promise anything right away. But eventually. The plan is to do everything eventually. Yeah, this is not a one-chunk castle. This is 9 billion chunk castle. Whoop. That was a mistake. Take a quick look at this. Yeah. Yeah, we need a slab there, if anything. But probably not a full block. Just talking to myself about some of this. I don't know if it's entirely going to make sense to you. What is the time played stat for this world? Interesting question. Where are we? Time played. These stats move around all the time, so it's always very confusing trying to find it. 20.89 days. Multiply that by 24 and you have a number of hours. That's not in-game days, by the way. The in-game days isn't accurate, but it's on day 319 right now. ECL1, loving the YouTube videos. Thank you. Loving the fact that you're watching them. Oh, nope, it's never going to happen. Oh no! Well, at least we get to light this place up. It was all intentional. Try again. Thank you. How do you come up with a pattern for the roof of each tower? You have trouble making roofs look good. The video today that I put up on my YouTube channel was about making these roofs, but I guess it didn't go into a huge amount of detail. As far as like the pattern goes with this, I'm sort of just spamming blocks. I don't really have a pattern as far as like how much nether brick versus red nether brick I'm using, and like it's not built in stripes or anything. I just switch it out if I feel like I've already used too much of one or the other. Yes, Mr. Badgerseth, we are still on 1.13.2. I don't plan to update until full release of 1.14 comes out. Even though the pre-releases are supposed to be quite stable, there's been world-eating bugs in a couple of them. But yeah, as far as building tower roofs like this go, basically you're making a set of circles that just shrink as they go inwards, but you've also got to take into account that each of the four sides, like the center of each of the four sides, is going to have to be taller than the rest of it, because that's the point that's like leading towards the center point. So typically I end up building them like this, where like the central section goes up 2 blocks at a time. The stuff around it goes up 1 block or 2 blocks. So it kind of alternates a little bit. It's really difficult to describe exactly how this stuff comes together, though. Espy that from a distance. Yeah, solid. I like. Once again, probably need some slabs around the underside of this, just to give it that, like, floppy hat look. That's the plan. Then yeah, there's a couple of places around here that I don't plan on using the same roof materials for. Probably going to put a wooden roof over that walkway that leads from that building to the other building. I might actually move that 1 block back, because right now it's abutting on that roof. Yeah, that's right, I said abutting. Ow. Right, I am going to chill in here and take a very short break. Need to go and grab myself some more refreshments. Feel free to grab your snacks. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. CN, thank you for the host. Afternoon. How are we? Hope you've all enjoyed the chair facts, courtesy of people. Chair facts brought to you by people. Anyway, let's play some more video games. Can't hear me? Pretty sure you can. Should be able to. Nope, it's here. It works. Other folks can. It's just trolling, I see. What tea did I get this time? English breakfast. Hey, Slicey Wicey with 10 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. So, of the many towers we have in this place, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. I put too many towers on this castle, guys. 7. There's one down there as well. 8. There's that one there. Okay. Let's find something that's not a tower and decorate it, because goodness me, I built too many towers. There's 9. There's one hidden behind there as well. The many towers of Castle Towers a lot. Can mobs spawn on the roofs? Yes. Whoa! Smitty, it's going well. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good one. There's also this section here which we need to do something with. Can I put the tea up to the camera so you can drink some? Good luck. It's partly invisible. There it is. My YouTube link is not working. Try just typing it in yourself. It's not difficult. Spelt the same as my Twitch username. Made a giant nether wart farm yesterday with wart streams. Makes 2,500. Now what do I do with it? Turn it into nether wart blocks. They're really underrated. If you haven't seen nether wart blocks, by the way, let's go make some of those now, actually. Do I have sugar or honey in my tea? Nope. Neither. Unless, sometimes I'll have honey if I've got like a sore throat or something. I find honey really soothing for that. But, yeah, I don't typically take sugar or honey. Some teas do really call for it, though. There's some teas which are better, sweeter. Like hibiscus teas, fruit teas, a lot of the time are actually really nice with an extra scoop of honey in. If it's something that tastes like it's meant to be sweet, which is rare for me with tea, because a lot of tea is just like slightly bitter, and that's fine. Milk only or just straight tea? Milk usually. Again, depends on the tea. But there's a tea that you can get from the place where we get our specialist tea, the Bird and Blend Tea Company here in Brighton, which is called Chocolate Digestive, and it's meant to taste like a good old British chocolate biscuit. And I find that that's better with a little bit of sugar in, if only just to enhance the fact that it's meant to imitate a chocolate biscuit. But that's like the only time I really consider putting sugar in tea. It's very much not a normal thing for me. Brighton is a cool place, Logic. You are correct. I have a lot of fun in Brighton. Anyway, nether wart block. These are fun. Like, look at that as a texture. It's not the most usable thing in the world. It's also really awkward because it doesn't have a very, like, good time to break with any particular tool. Like, it's not an axe block, it's not a pickaxe block, it's just like a... mine it with something. So I don't tend to build with it much because it's a pain to move around. But some people have suggested that instead of using red wool for the carpets in this castle, we should just put down some nether wart block, and I like the sound of that. That seems very fitting considering the decor we've gone with thus far. But yeah, nether wart block is great in a nether build. I agree. It's got a good context with the nether in general. And I think now that netherrack is changing color as well, I think netherrack is going to be a little bit more usable too, which is exciting. I mean, it's not changing color, but the texture is changing, and it's a lot more palatable, in my opinion, than the current default netherrack is. One of the textures you don't like is the new netherrack. Do you prefer it being kind of grainy, just because it's meant to be unusable or something? Ed Noria with 2 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the resub. Let's see some sub hype in the chat, please. And Sammy with the 250 bits. Oh, right, you bought some bits the other day. Here, have some bits. Thank you so much. I'll take them. Thank you for the 250 bits. Kind of works as meat if you have a campfire or a butcher's. Yeah, right now I have the netherrack on a butcher's spit in one of the shops in Founder's Forge, but I wonder if the new netherrack is going to look as good. DJ Cheeseburger asking why I don't have my face cam in my YouTube videos. It's because my face is not the focus. Like, the YouTube videos are all tutorials, and I want people to pay attention to what's going on the screen rather than looking at my face the whole time. It's also, like, using Facecam, webcam, whatever you want to call it, also makes it more obvious when I make an edit. And sometimes I make an edit that's smooth enough that you don't see anything much change on the screen. Like, it'll fade very subtly between two things if I, for whatever reason, have to cut into a take because I sneeze or something catches in my throat, a word comes out weird, I start to say the wrong thing. I have to look up something on the wiki, like Luke Carts with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. Enjoy your space tea emote. I appreciate the support. But yeah, you might notice that a lot of my videos are quite heavily edited. If there's a lot of cuts in a video, it's either because I had trouble explaining things, or for whatever reason, like, something interrupted my explanation, or I wanted to rephrase something because I didn't think I explained it well enough the first time. And having a webcam involved with that would overcomplicate things. It also means that I don't have to have... Like, I can put more information on the screen. You can see more of just, like, what's going on in the game because my face isn't covering part of it. Found me on YouTube last month. I've watched, like, 50 videos. Love the content. Thank you. I am flattered that you like it. Does netherwort look like chicken wings with hot sauce? I mean, I think the important thing to chicken wings is the shape for me. Like, I don't really think hot sauce when I look at netherwort. I feel like you've got to have a really weird dark red hot sauce for that. Anyway, what I was doing was working on some of the roofs up here. I think this section here is probably going to be the tallest bit, and then down there we're going to keep that relatively short. The tower is probably going to have to be slightly taller. Just use your best bow with infinity on it to make a dispenser. Oh, Fev, oh no. The pixel flip emotes are justified. There's a reason that you don't normally end up making enchanted bows into dispensers. Like, I don't think that's possible to do in Java Edition, is it? Or maybe it is, but you can only use like bows with full durability. You're someone who wouldn't even heat up their noodles. I don't know if you've seen the most recent season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but it starts off with one of the characters in prison, and he teaches this like big tough prison gangster guy to like sprinkle crushed up ramen noodles on top of his cooked ramen as like a garnish. And the guy that's what like gets him accepted into this prison gang. It's the weirdest narrative, but it's the usual Brooklyn Nine-Nine humor. Is pretty funny. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's amazing. It's such a good show, man. It's such a good show. We've rewatched the 5th season when it came to Netflix. We've rewatched that twice now. And it just doesn't get old. There's just moments of that show that we'll go back and rewatch again and again. It's like one of the funniest things on TV. Am I a quiet sneezer? I'm definitely not a quiet sneezer. I've basically become my dad in terms of how loud I sneeze. Like, it's only happened once or twice on stream, and I try and mute the microphone before it happens. Speaking of good TV, Game of Thrones next week. I stopped watching Game of Thrones around season 4. So not for me, but I'm sure everyone else is looking forward to it. I just found it got too grim, and like with reality being kind of grim these days, I kind of decided it was best to give it a break and focus on stuff that made me laugh more than anything else. It's also not something I really have access to. Like, we don't have Sky or HBO Go or anything. So I'd always be behind on it anyway, or have to watch it illegally, which I really don't feel like doing. I know the writers have gone on record saying that they don't mind it or something like that. I think I read that at the last count, but I'm also like, nah. I don't want to mess too much with that stuff. Now TV for a month to catch up. I'm good. You follow Game of Thrones just via the AV Club. That's fair, actually. That's probably a good way to do it. You can have dad sneezes even without being a dad. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it's the same as dad jokes. You can tell dad jokes without being a dad. Started a new survival world this week. Was wondering which XP farm is easy to make, the Blaze one or the Guardian one. The Blaze one was definitely easier. It does require you to have a lot of slime, though, so you need to start a slime farm or just go hunting for slimes in swamps a lot beforehand. But yeah, I really think the Blaze farm was the easier task of the two. Why does my tea go transparent? Because it's in a green mug. Let me show you. I don't do this very often. Let's disable the webcam effect so you guys can see what's up. Let's see. Filters. There we go. There is my green screen in all its glory. And here is my mug. You can see why it gets chromed out. Ta-da! Secrets revealed. Secrets of the space mug. And there it is again. You can kind of see there's like a faint green haze to it because it's a slightly different color than the backdrop. But that is what spawned the Space Tea mug emote, and I'm very, very happy with that. Courtesy of the wonderful Mr. Joel Duggan. Go to joelduggan.com for all the latest. Including, actually, some stuff that he is going to be working on for me, and an avatar for Logical Geek Boy at the last count, I think. How many mugs do I have in case it breaks? None, unfortunately. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. I looked into whether it was possible to get another one, and I believe they no longer make them. So if this one does break, then I'm going to have to resort to, like, painting one myself or something. This is an interesting one. Not certain what to do with the roof of this tall boy here. As Loy's art skill's not good enough for me. I mean, Loy has other commissions. He's been working on a book really hard and stuff, so... Sometimes you've got to spread the love around. I think I might be all roofed out. Like, I'm having a hard time thinking about how we're going to do this one, because maybe it can connect with this roof here and come down a little bit lower and have another overhang. But maybe it needs to be another roof like that one where there are... Not that one. Where's the... I've lost it. This one down here, where all of the angles are in there. I don't know. What would be a cool alternate block to stone to build the foundation of a castle? You could go with sandstone. You could build a castle out of quartz. Make it out of ice. If you can farm ice, making a castle out of blue ice, packed ice, and regular ice would look really cool. And you can add in like blue and white stained glass. I actually tried ages ago, and it's one of the things that kind of killed the momentum for me. I was trying to work on a one-chunk ice palace and kind of make it look like a fairy tale castle kind of thing. For whatever reason, like, it just did not go well. But yeah, I plan on returning to that at some point. I think I've got better ideas for it now. But in one chunk, it was really difficult. Because there's no stairs and slabs of similar blocks. Like, you had to just work with quartz. There's no blue slabs, really, aside from prismarine. And that's only more recently. Real Deuce 152 with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub here. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. And I appreciate the support. My favorite block is probably emerald ore. People in the chat will be able to tell you all about that. But yeah, there's some stuff where you can use a beacon to insta-mine blue ice and packed ice. Packed ice you can insta-mine just with efficiency 5. You don't need a beacon for it. I don't know what blue ice's time to break is. And what was I reading here? Yeah, the ice castle thing I will probably revisit at some point. We'll see. This is also an even number wide. So, are we going to go with this? Or no? The problem is if I don't do something about this now, then the only other thing I can really decorate is all the towers. And that building down there, I guess. We'll do that one. That one's easy. That one's easy. Even bought emerald ore for actual emeralds. I did, yeah. Back on the Decidedly Vanilla server, that was my strategy. Whoa. Just sent the space cuppa spinning. Managed not to spill any. I'm going to move this wall over. I don't want it to, like, intersect with the tower as much now that I've built the tower. Use shulker boxes as guardians for the castle. You mean actual shulkers? That'd be fun. Bring some of them back from the end. I haven't done too many episodes about, like, mob transportation. So it'd be kind of fun to do episodes about that. I mean, it's inevitable we'll have to do it at some point, but... it's about having a purpose for it, mainly. I've done how to transport villagers, but haven't done as much with hostile mobs. The enemies would just float over the walls. Sadly, you can't, like, program shulkers to attack whatever you want. That's the main issue with stuff like that. It's like when I get a few comments every now and again on the episode where I fight the Wither or the episode where I fight the Dragon to say, like, next time, just have the Wither fight the Dragon, and unfortunately it does not work like that. Believe me, I've tried. The Wither just gets distracted by all the Endermen, and the Ender Dragon is only programmed to attack the player. The fact that it attacks Enderman when it swoops down is purely coincidence. So, yeah, Wither versus Ender Dragon is always very anticlimactic. Mob switch episode confirmed. Hey, at least it's still possible in 1.14 now. Now that the spawn chunks will actually process entities for you. There we go. Nice solid roof we can work on, and it only took me all day. Swoosh. Swish and flick. Why don't I set up a beacon here? Because the time it would take me to speed mine stone versus the time it takes me to just remove a couple of blocks of stone is, like, really not that much for time save. I would end up breaking blocks I didn't want to break, and it'd just end up, like, wasting additional time that way instead of being worthwhile for me. Whoop, there we go. Could capture another ghast and use it for a tree farm. I haven't considered using ghasts for tree farms, and it's probably a good thing too, because the upcoming update has really improved the drop rate of TNT, unless they've nerfed that again, but I don't think I've seen that anywhere. Wither will attack the dragon if it gets hit. The dragon will attack the Wither as sort of splash damage from attacking you. Yeah. Yeah, the Wither will aggro on stuff that attacks it, but then it would just end up getting too distracted by the Enderman first, unfortunately. Yeah, having 100% drop rate for TNT is a really great change. I can't wait to see how people use that. Can set teams for shulkers. Oh, right, yeah. I mean, you could do stuff like that with teams, but that's going pretty heavily into command stuff, and I'm not super keen on introducing that to the series until much later. I like the idea from a lore perspective, but it involves putting me on a team as well. I'm on Team Pixel. Does that include creeper drop rates? No, it doesn't, as far as I'm aware. I think they operate on, like, different loot tables, or however it's programmed. I don't know if it's loot tables or not. I don't think that's the right terminology. Move strays over to the castle and... Yeah. Yeah, strays or wither skeletons or something. There's a lot of, like, mobs we could include in this place. Don't know if I'm up for getting shot on the way, though. Okay, and now we need to carve into this tower a little bit. There we go. Let's take a quick shufty at this from the air. Yeah, not bad. I think we do need a few more sections kind of coming out of these taller towers here and there. Am I going to make a tutorial video on map art, and if so, will it include a time lapse? Yes, and probably. I don't know when, though. As the command will tell you, the plan is to do everything, eventually. Wouldn't it be golden if there were soldier villagers? What you need is Tango Tech's villager mod. Because I'm pretty sure he has, like, guards that guard villagers for you. Nice transparent cup, thank you. I do like the fact that the bottom of this is green as well. It really adds to the effect. Do I find myself learning new things as a result of this series? All the time, Loki, all the time. Like, all of the, basically the technical farms and stuff that I've built. Like, even the really basic ones, the things that are like, basically, everybody who plays Minecraft should know how to do this, quote unquote. Like, if you're looking at stuff like iron farms. It's an essential skill for the modern Minecrafter, and I had never built one before this series. Kalansky with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub here. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. Thank you. That's right. Get some sub hype. Get some sub hype. Over 150 subs again. Oh, exciting times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think what this needs, I think what we need to break up this section of the wall here, which now I look at it is really not terrible looking, but I think what it needs is a tower coming out from the side. When will we get an Iron Titan? Probably never, considering that 1.14 is breaking that style of iron farm completely. Like, if there are any updates to iron farming in future that look like that, then sure, I'll give them a go. But I really don't think that style of thing is going to be viable for very long. I will cover what the changes to iron farms are and how to either rebuild or adapt later on in the Survival Guide series, but of course there's going to be a bit of an adjustment period for people, so yeah, it's important to remember that iron farms are not dead. They're just resting. Here's a weird design for something. I think this will work. Appropriate music. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn the death of iron farms. and apparently become Obi-Wan Kenobi. What will happen while you update the world to 1.14? Yes. You'll load it up in the same client, but it will say Java Edition version 1.14. You will load it up. It will ask you if you want to make a backup of your world. You will probably click yes, because you should make backups of your world regardless. Then you'll do that. You'll open the world, and it'll look the same but different. Ah! Did not intend to fall into this. Ooh. Now it's got a claw, but that's also offset because it's an even numbered build. Oops. Jojo. I'm very well. How are you doing? Octophone. Hello. So the question is, do we double up on this one? Or do we extend the wall of this by 1 block? When is my Minecraft golden version? Now. In my opinion, Minecraft has only improved. Watch the sunset from the top of this mountain, next to this flower. Yeah, it could work. Poetic. Be able to clear the cache of the server and get rid of some permanent light glitches and stuff. That sounds like a good additional feature. I think some people were thinking it was more like pruning old chunks, which it's very much not from the description, as I understand it. But, yeah, I like the fact that they've included that. It will hopefully help a little bit with the awkward stuff like that. Don't see me as a potty mouth. Ah, you have not met me. No, I try to keep all of my YouTube content and stuff family friendly. Obviously, because I'm playing a game that is, you know, has a family audience and stuff like that. But my wife is from a family where cursing is quite a common occurrence. And I'm not saying she's a bad influence on me. I did it before that. But, yeah, it happens from time to time. Between me and her. I think the most important thing about swearing is just not to direct it at anybody. Like, you shouldn't really do it in anger at somebody, even though that's typically when people do. I think the most important thing is just to make sure you don't say anything you'll regret later. I'll blame the wife. I mean, she would probably happily accept the blame. Non-targeted swearing in your mind is acceptable, whereas directed, not so much. Yeah, that's it exactly. Like if you're angry at somebody, then there are better ways to express your anger. I'm a big believer in communication, and if it's like directed at somebody, that's where communication starts to break down, and it just devolves into angriness. Which is not a productive way to solve anything. But hey, this is a family-friendly stream, so we don't need to worry too much about any of that. I think keeping this as a circle will probably do. This is, again, not something that I've sketched out in the original castle plans, so this is kind of by the seat of the pants here. A little bit. I think the most important thing is just making sure this support structure actually looks like it's supporting whatever this is. Yeah, that's looking good, actually. That's looking better than I expected it to. Do I ever go to any Comic-Cons? No, I've not been to many of the convention kind of style things. It's not really my scene, and I guess until somewhat recently, I never really had the money to either. Definitely not for, like, lack of interest or whatever, just for lack of available resources and proximity to those as well, because I don't own a car. Transport is, you know, I something I rely on public transport for, so I have a fairly limited scope for that kind of stuff. But in May, in fact, I need to get some more information about this, but in May I might be attending my first ever event as, like, YouTube talent, which is something I'll have more details on nearer the time, because I need to get back in touch with the people who are organising it. But yeah, might actually be going out there as Pixel Riffs, making an appearance. All right, keep the chat PG if you don't mind. Family-friendly stream and all that. Oster, it's nice to catch the stream finally. Good to see you. Welcome along. Thanks for stopping by. The question is, what are we going to do with the underside of this? Because right now that feels like it's being supported by those arms there, but maybe it needs to kind of like taper in with some other materials here. Hey, Post Lemony, good to see you. Hope you're well as well. I'm doing pretty well, thank you for asking. Do we want to do something like that? Actually, we might want to... I don't build stuff like this all that much, so it's a little tricky working out the exact proportions here. Is that going to look good, or is it going to look rubbish? Ain't terrible. I think there's more we could do to it, and I think maybe the supports need to be of different material. Because I think just making it all stone and stone brick like that, it loses some of its character. Am I a selfie with fans kind of guy or an autograph and handshake kind of guy? I have no idea. First time I've done anything like this, we'll find out. It'll look cool with the roof. I mean, it'll get a roof eventually. The roof is not part of the question here. The question is, do I change the stone supports out for something different? Or do I turn the tower into something that's more like wooden? Because I'm thinking potentially it could look good if some of this stuff is made out of, like, if some of the supports are made out of wood. But then wood holding up stone could work. Stone holding up wood seems more practical. In most castle reference images, the supports are kind of in bars, not a full block. Yeah. So maybe taking this stuff out might be a better idea. I sort of wonder if making the tower out of wood would probably be a better idea. Well, that failed. So let's try taking this down. We're kind of building on the fly here, so not 100% certain how this is going to turn out. But you miss every shot you don't take. Let's try this with... I think dark oak has been kind of the supporting material through most of this. The supporting act. And I think we'll try dark oak on the bottom of here. Especially because with a darker wood color, it's going to feel more like it's kind of in shadow. It has fallen into shadow. Have it end up like there. Slicey Wicey with the 7 bits. Thank you for the bits. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think the floor needs to come down and sit inside the claw a little bit more. The claw. The claw decides who will go and who will stay. I need to see this in the light of day, please. Does anyone else feel like the Minecraft day really doesn't last very long? Oh my goodness, Cosmic Dancer with the 12 months. Thank you so much for the year of support. Let's see some sub-hype in the chat, please. Oh my days. A full year. Thank you so much for all that you do supporting this stream and the Minecraft community in general, the Spawn Chunks community, all of the above. And Ray Angel with a sub. Thank you so much for subscribing. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the Pixels. You are 1 in a million. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. All right, I'm building this like it's an odd-numbered build. It's not. So let's try that from the outside. It's getting there. I think it probably needs... Yeah, it needs something going there. I think it needs slabs around the outside to curve it upwards. Oh, I've already got some of those. Let's try the spruce. That was a cooler flying maneuver than I expected it to be. There. And then do we go with spruce around here like that? I think maybe we do. Let's bridge up from here. It's kind of weird, but I also kind of like it. It feels like a boat. It's like one of the shipwrecks that you find. It's just been shoved out here. Maybe add a fence type or a stone wall to the sides of those few stone bricks. What, to kind of make it look more supported? Maybe. I feel like having this entire thing be made out of logs is a bit much right now. Do I have a shirt like my character? I mean, the character is based on an item of clothing that I own, so yeah. Juliet balcony. Oh, Pigman, Pigman, wherefore art thou, Pigman? This is sort of an oval as well because that side comes out with those two blocks there. If this was going to be a proper circle, it should really end up there. I wonder if that helps it look better. You know what it kind of does? Not going to lie, it kind of does. I'm cooler with that now than I was. I still think we need to do something other than logs. I think the logs are too much. I think maybe if we put some more stone brick up there as the walls and then the logs become more like accents, that's going to work better. But yeah, I'm really freestyling this right now. Got it. Haha, even picked it up on the fly past. I know that's been bugging people for a while. So if we do stone and stone bricks kind of up the sides here. Something along these lines. What does gifting a sub do? It means somebody else gets to subscribe. Somebody else gets all the emotes and whatnot. It doesn't auto-renew or anything, so if you gift a sub to somebody, it means that they don't, like... you don't, like, sponsor their sub forever. It's just a nice thing to do, as a gift. Let's make windows in this, like this. Should we do that? No. No. Maybe this way round. I'll put the logs more like on the corners. Like so. Maybe they can look like they're holding up the roof a little bit if they are supporting this whole thing from the corners. Yeah, that's looking better. That's looking a lot better. I really hate myself for making some of these buildings like odd, even numbers. When odd numbers just work so much better. Oh my gosh! Speaking of gift subs, what? Cosmic Dancer with the 12 gifted subs. Oh my days. Thank you so much for the 12 gifted subs. Cosmic. Absolute legend. Yeah, the hype in the chat. Okay, bear with me. There we go. Chat's a little bit less spammy now. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Everyone who's just been gifted a sub, enjoy your emotes. Welcome to the pixels. And I'm pretty sure you owe Cosmic Dancer a pretty hefty thank you. I know I sure do. There's Nether Horse, by the way, if anyone's worried about Nether Horse. There you go. The support is real, guys. Kind of wonder if maybe this tower's windows should be... It's still going. It's still going. The windows should be more like so, on that side in particular. I really wish it was possible to have, like, this is the one occasion on which I think, like, yes, vertical slabs would be a thing. Just making these windows slightly longer. And the sound of gifted subs continued. Slicey Wicey with 7 bits as well, which will probably pop up on the stream whenever the sub notifications stop, which is going to take a little while. We're going to carry a stone cutter around during 114. No, I'll probably put it down somewhere in the town. Some of the places in Founder's Forge would be absolutely perfect for some of the new crafting stations, so... There it is. Slicey Wicey, the 7 bits. Thank you again, Cosmic Dancer, for that super generous 12 gifted subs. What can I do with bits? They're basically a Twitch currency. They're kind of like a way of donating to streamers without them having like a donate button or a PayPal link or whatever. This Twitch's built-in currency that Twitch can also profit from as well. Like, direct donations just go basically straight to a streamer's PayPal account through Streamlabs, but... bits are something that you buy from Twitch or earn from watching ads that Twitch profits from, and then that's what you can give to streamers. And cheering bits basically counts like revenue, so like 1 bit is 1 cent. That's how it works. That is your Twitch info hour, brought to you by twitch.tv/pixelriffs. Meaning hours and profits. Yeah, basically. Makes the world go round. Did I build all of this myself? I have, yeah. This is my survival world. I've been going at this for the last, I guess, 8 months now. Basically since Minecraft 1.13 came out. I haven't been building the castle for that long. I've been building the castle about a week. So as you can see, I play a lot of Minecraft. Yes, we need more stuff like this. More stuff like these towers definitely needs to come in here. And it occurs to me this is going to be a real awkward shape to build a roof on, but what the heck, we'll give it a try. Can I read out the gifted subs? Alright, I may as well. Nana Beans, Mr. Duck, Mr. End, TGB, Kately, IS7X, Norna, Blackfeather, Stagte, Otis Brown, Commander Shane Goodman, Gooseman, sorry, Industrial Sheep, 666, and 289 Jerry. Enjoy your subs, courtesy of the Cosmic Dancer. Wielding the power cosmic once again to bring a few more stars to the chat. Although, yeah, when Joel gets started on some of my sub-badge stuff, that is going to be an exciting time, because we have some sub-badge ideas knocking around now. Otis is the name of your rabbits. Good name. I remember back in the BBC days, the BBC Broom Cupboard days, in children's BBC, back when I used to be young enough to watch that kind of stuff, there was a puppet on that show called Otis, who was an aardvark. That was basically how I found out what an aardvark was. Thanks, CBBC, for educating me about aardvarks. Dr. 83 remembers Otis the aardvark. He had such a funny face as well. It's a proper, like, TV Muppet face. It was very good. What is an aardvark? It's like an anteater, isn't it? Marsupial with a long snout. Which presenters were with Otis? Oh, was it Andy Peters? I think it was after Andy Peters' time. I think he'd moved on at that point. Andy Peters and Ed the Duck was the combo back in the day. I can't remember who it was at that stage. I don't know if I remember their names very well. I feel like I knew Blue Peter presenters, but I didn't necessarily know who was in the broom cupboard at CBBC. Was it Andy Crane? I don't know if it's Andy Crane. You might have to Google it. Might have to go to Google on that one. Oh, we got Beethoven. That means we've been streaming for 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's just how long it takes for the entire Minecraft soundtrack to play out. Who drew my profile picture? The one on Twitch was drawn by ZloyXP. The emotes and stuff that I have on the channel, the Pixel Hype emote was done by Amalith. The others were done by Joel Duggan. Whose name I said very weird just then, but ignore that. Arthur was an aardvark. Was he? That's not what an aardvark looks like, though. He didn't look it, though. I always thought he was some kind of weird mouse. I mean, like, Arthur the Aardvark, the alliteration in the name is there, but, like... Y'all couldn't find an encyclopedia to look up what an aardvark is? A little bit? Are you guaranteed to get mending at some point if you keep buying from a librarian? No. Librarians have a maximum of 3 book trades, although I don't know about the latest update, so don't quote me on that as far as village and pillage goes, but librarian villages will typically only give you 3 books before they run out of trades and you need to find another librarian. But, yeah, keep going through those librarians. You'll find one eventually. Newest update, you got a villager with 4 books, then some won't give you others. Yeah, I think the idea is that the trades are a lot more freeform now. Like, they're not guaranteed to give you the same trades in the same order. So you're not always going to get, like, all the crop trades with a farmer. I am excited for the new update. Yeah, Toby Anstis, there we go. There we go. There's a familiar name. Although that always makes me think of the time Donny Tourette was on Nevermind the Buzzcocks and he kept calling Simon Amstel Simon Anstis. And he's like, I'm not Toby Anstis. Beetroot is now a trade for farmers. Yes! Finally! Finally, beetroot farms legitimized. Should play some Sweet Dark Souls. I'll pass, but thank you. Yeah, that's coming together pretty well. I think it needs more nether brick slabs around the roof there, but ain't looking half bad. In Dutch, it's the description of a pig or aardvarken. Right, okay. I see where the confusion lies there. With all your fishing and guardian farm, you don't need pigs. Yeah, no, I feel like pigs are one of those things that you don't tend to need to farm. Like, it's an optional farm, if anything. I think maybe we do nether brick slabs either side of this. And then... Oh. Doctor 83, by the way, welcome to the mod squad. I know you sent me a text asking if you could mod if I needed it, and you weren't entirely sure what you were doing, so no pressure. But yeah, while the other mods are out, may as well add you to the crew. For those who don't know, Doctor 83 is my sister, so stay in line. What have I done wrong here? I've done some stuff in completely the wrong proportions. How much longer am I going to be streaming? Probably another half hour, maybe? That looks weird, but I think it's actually more right than it was. If we keep this side consistent, like so, add a slab there. I would have thought I was an only child. Yeah, why? What gave you that impression? It looks like it's got a little hat. It's kind of adorable, but it needs more height. Whoa! Ugh, I thought I was going to fall down the entirety of the tower then. I forgot I put a floor in this thing. A not-so-fatal floor. Hardy ha-ha. Adorable mushroom tower. It did, like, with the the windows being there, it did look a little bit like a one-up, didn't it? Toad's Tower. It's a Mario Party level waiting to happen. The fact that I seem to be more independent and responsible. Well, you can be independent and responsible and still have a sister. In fact, I learned a lot of it from her, I think. You know, people who have siblings tend to be more immature. Tempting as it is to blow a raspberry at that. I don't know. I've not really noted that as being an experience that I've had, but who knows? All depends how you're raised, and I like to think my parents raised me to be responsible. Don't know how much that lesson has sunk in. Here I am streaming video games on the internet, but I don't know. It seems to be going all right. Yeah, it definitely going to look better here with a little bit more height. Siblings are great. You fought every day, but you love your brothers. That's the good type of relationship to have, really. I inherited Dad's sneeze. There you go. There you go. I was talking about my sneeze in the chat. I don't know if you were here before that, but yeah, people were saying, like, what kind of sneeze do you have? Are you a screamer, or are you a quiet sneezer, or a nasal sneezer? I was like, definitely not quiet. Definitely not quiet. Streaming games is not irresponsible. Well, yeah, it's all right. Let's take a quick look at the proportions here and make sure that I'm not building this horribly. Oh yeah, that's much better. Still really not too keen on it being an even number thing, but it's odd numbers at the sides, and then it's just going to connect to the wall of this place, so that shouldn't be a huge problem. Very professional compared to some people I know who have siblings. Well, I feel like that depends on the person, not on whether or not they have the siblings. Didn't know that that was such a big deal. Oh, if we had red nether brick stairs already, I could actually bring that to a point. Kind of. But as it is, it doesn't look terrible. Now it looks like Toad wearing a wizard hat. Which I can get on board with. He's stolen Kamek's hat. We need to get up there and do the underhanging nether brick slabs, though. Can't wait for 1.14 to come out and give me red nether brick and then force me to basically redo all the roofs in this place. Nah, I probably won't touch it after this. When it's done, it's done. Now it looks like a bearded gnome. Oh, we could give it a beard. We could give it a beard made out of, like, leaves or something. It looks so funny. And a mustache made of coal blocks. Wait a second. That way madness lies. Did not need to place that many stone blocks, but what can you do? The answer to that is you can place fewer stone blocks. Let's give it a little floppy fringe. It's the emo fringe tower. It's not a phase, Mom. I'm a building. There's a sorcerer pig in the tower. Hey, there could be. Yeah, I think that'll do. That'll do nicely. There's still some of these walls down there that are made out of orange terracotta. I haven't replaced them for stone yet. It's going to bug me if I don't get rid of that. Mumbo the Gnome Tower. Sure. If you insist. Also, there's zombies around here somewhere. Probably in one of the rooms I haven't lit up. Slicey Wicey with another 7 bits. The bits are coming in 7s this day. On this day in Twitch history. Yeah, the even number is a little weird, but I think from the side it looks better. Take a lead and put a pig up there. I think if you fly, I think it's if you fly with slow falling potions, you can actually fly slowly enough to bring an animal on a lead. And yes, that looks like cut off on one side. That's because I haven't built the back of it yet. Because I think we're either going to build the side up on the bit behind it, or we can move it around. 7 times 7 from Elkhorn with a 49. Thank you for the 49 bits. All right, I am going to take another very short break. So I'm going to pop into my safety room, and I'll be right back. It's me! Hi. Hi, hi. So, a couple more things we can do before we wrap up here. Look at that llama. As far as details and stuff go, I think we're good. As far as roofs and stuff go, I might I might leave a couple of these towers without the pointy roofs. We've been doing a lot of those. Another 7 bits. 7 at a time. Let's see. I think we're done with that for now. The dirt behind the eyes does make it look kind of sinister, doesn't it? This section over here is actually going to be covered over. It's just going to have a roof here. Will Castle have a part 4 in Survival Guide? You're looking at it. I mean, this is what I'm doing for part 4 is like building more of the roofs, detailing some of the sections here. Leaves. That's what we need. For the detail side of things, definitely need some leaves. Yeah, the castle is extending into next week as well. Like, there is a whole bunch of stuff that we can do. And I will probably end up building this for at least another week before we officially, like, wrap things up and I move on to other projects. How many parts will the castle have? I mean, I've no idea how many parts it has now. You mean in terms of the episodes? I mean, I don't plan on going further than another week. And so presuming all of the episodes next week are focused on the castle, it'll be like 9 parts total. That'll be it. Let's go for a little bit of mossy stone brick here and there. And having leaves pop out of sections like this. That is not where I plan to land, but thank you. Hopeless, right. Let's have some leaves come down here. And a little bit of mossy stone brick just to make it look like, yeah, there's some greenery around the place. I'll put the jungle leaves in there because they are more dense. And then pop down here. Having it come off the sides like that. Might be a little bit too much. The Might Be Couch. This is your first time watching the stream. Just started listening to the podcast too. Thanks for the hard work. Hey, no problem. Glad you're enjoying it. Wait, I have a podcast? I do. I have a podcast called The Spawn Chunks. It's all about Minecraft, and you can find it on all good podcast apps. And, you know, the usual places. Spotify, iTunes, Google, Android, Stitcher. Wherever you hang your podcast hat, you'll find us. That is me and my buddy Joel, and we talk about Minecraft news every week. We interview guests. We chat about what we're doing in our Minecraft world. You'll probably hear a lot about this castle in the upcoming episodes. Hey, Cricket, welcome along. Glad you found the Twitch channel. Enjoy a sneak peek at tomorrow's episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide, where we are talking about how to desail the castle. And boy, the leaves just make it. The leaves make it every time. In fact, that might be a really good thing to have on the wall of this section. If this is going to be a chapel, but I don't want to put a stained glass window in here, I think maybe even having, like, trailing leaves or vines kind of like growing up the sides here might be a good thing. Let's have a bit of variety thrown in. Slicey Wicey just 7 bits at a time today. I think I need to get more oak leaves for this. Always time for bushes. It is. I think I even have some... Do I have some leaves in this one? Oh, yeah. That's the stash. That's where the leaves are kept. Kind of looks at more makes it look a little bit more ruined than I intended it to, but you know, I'll take it. A little bit of mossy brick in here as well. I don't want to spam the stuff everywhere, but it does make it look a little pretty. I did pick that up. Okay, good. Do I make these videos for a living? At this point, basically, yeah. I have a part-time job as well, but this is kind of my main gig now. This survival guide and this being the Twitch stuff. And yes, we could put some leaves on some of these roofs as well. But like, ain't too bad on its own, you know? I sort of like the idea of if this is a chapel and it's not necessarily a Christian thing, then it could be like a more overgrown part of it, and maybe it's slightly less used, or maybe it's where some more kind of nature worship stuff happens, potentially. And that's why it's got vines growing up the wall instead of a stained glass window? Could be the case. You mean veganism? Oh. There's a roll of the dice. Reclaimed by nature. Yeah, I... once upon a time... this is a bedtime story for you guys. No, once upon a time I was making a ruined kind of city type thing for Decidedly Vanilla Season 2. And back in those days, I was, you know, I had good ideas, but I don't know if I was as good as definitely not as good a builder as I am now. And definitely had less time for it as well. But I love how much the green stands out against the red of the nether brick. They're obviously like, they're complementary colors, right? They kind of opposite each other in the color wheel and all that. They stand out. So that's looking a little bit overgrown, but maybe they like it that way. Give the tower a leaf beard. No, I said I was going to do that, but I was mostly joking. Mostly. This place is really coming together. Like, there's a lot going on here now, and it's making me very, very happy. I need to do more stuff like this tower. The tower was an excellent experiment, and it really came through. And I want to do more stuff like that, because it really lends a little bit more character to the place. Another 7 bits from Slicey Wicey. Slowly climbing that ladder. Might need to work on the path to the entrance. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's whole sections of this just aren't done yet. Like, what is all this? Like, nothing is happening over here. But, yeah, there's the sections there, like there's a ton of stuff that still needs working on, but in terms of the direction it is headed, I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. And I think that's probably a good time to wrap up the stream for today. I think so. Let's see who's online that we can drop a raid on. And let's see what's happening in my Discord. Okay. Right, folks. That is going to be it from me. Let's see who we can raid. Who's around? Oh, Slinty is back on Twitch. It's been a while. Yeah, my mum plays with 100 bits. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Oh, and Skull Daisy with 100 bits as well. Wow. You guys coming through with the last minute bits. Appreciate that so much. Yeah, Slinty is streaming Minecraft again. It's been a while since she's been online. I think she was on a hiatus for a little while. So let's give her a warm welcome back to Twitch. She is a delightful streamer. I'm sure you guys will have a good time over at her stream. Don't forget to use the hashtag PixelRaid and your Pixel Hype emotes to show some love over on Slinty's stream. Give her a nice warm welcome back to Twitch. Thank you so much. We'll be back on Sunday with some more castle building. Until then, my name has been Pixel Riffs. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.